Ready. So we are back, baby. We are back. It has been a little bit since we played last time, so it'll be a little bit heftier of a recap. But episode 35, Tower of Pestilence, part 4, is where we are at. Part 3 was last time, in case you're counting. You guys had traversed top to bottom the Tower of Pestilence, the old lighthouse. Found a many number of things that were disturbing or concerning. You sort of achieved, to the best of your knowledge, the little task that you were provided. You haven't found a ton of clues as to what brought you here in the first place, but you guys had made your way down through the basement, fought a Fomorian, made it past that. We're riding some coffin canoes towards some figures that seem to be preoccupied with something at a table down in the same exact cave as the Fomorian. But I'm getting ahead of myself because we haven't even done the fun facts. So, the fun fact question for tonight is, what is the worst job your character ever had to do? It could be busboy for some, tavern or something, or, you name it. But what's the worst occupation? What led your adventurer to this life, I guess, that they're leading now? And I feel like there's no better person to start than Jared telling us about Tyrell.
Is that because you don't think I've had any jobs, or is it because you think I've had many jobs, or
Uh,
is it
I
because you think I go from job to job?
I think it's
What?
because you probably more so than anyone in the group, like, had a mishap with your sort of job placement, right? Like I think we learned last time that you wanted to be a rogue, but they accidentally placed you as an artificer, and then you just sort of been rolling with it ever since. So was that your first job? Were there jobs before that you were like, all right, I gotta get out of this and move on to the next? Like, what led you to that? What's your worst job? I don't know. I knew you had a job thing last time, so.
Yeah, I know that's a fair explanation. That was actually just for my studies,
Oh.
but yeah, it's probably fair to say I've been through a handful of different career facets, from helping out the Keeblers with their baking goods to um,
But that wasn't a bad job. You're saying that was a good job?
it wasn't bad. I guess one of the worst would have been
When you were a silent monk in the monastery?
yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
It's like Fight Club.
It had to do with a project I didn't know exactly what the end goal was supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and the working conditions were really terrible. Uh, I don't get good blood circulation, so the cold doesn't do well, and I was always having to be out in the freezing cold.
Ugh.
Um, Seemingly, like sometimes it was digging holes, sometimes it was removing wallpaper, sometimes it was uh, shoveling snow. It was odd jobs all the time for a boss that he just had. It was steady income, but it never really seemed to have any kind of purpose.
Are these chores that your parents made you do?
Talk about my parents.
I'm not your enemy here. I'm just
That's
trying.
later.
Okay, it just sounded like I don't know, chores that your parents would give you to do around the house. I was just curious.
Yeah, sure.
Not
That's basically what it felt like.
okay.
Idiocracy.
And that's when you were like, gonna get out of here, gonna do something else, and then you ran into your studies. Okay, interesting. So anything to do with the cold, you're not a fan of the cold.
Cold's okay, but not if it's blistering.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. A little bit of insight. Cameron, how about Stony? I feel like you got a weird perspective on, I guess, jobs, seeing as you're part of nobility, right? Like, do you ever have to do any hard labor or a service job or something?
I mean, the occasional, like, as a kid or a teenager, had to do some manual labor for doing something wrong. But I think the most recent job has been, pretty terrible. But also, I've learned a lot about Adria, I guess.
What's your most recent
Um,
job again? Can you remind us of that?
so, yeah, basically, I got in some trouble, so my parents kind of turned me into some bureaucratic monkey to come up to topside cities just to kind of keep in touch with the other rulers. These cities were long-standing like trade routes for us, as well as we provided protection to them from any seafaring evils. Um, so it's not really my type of job. So I get to sit there and do the dinners and the dances and try and schmooze with some of these other bureaucratic people. So we kind of really hate that. But on top of that, I was also tasked to kind of just check out the area. There's been some disappearances in trade on some of the ships, and we're kind of tying it to certain creatures. And there's just been an increase in that kind of attacks on these boats that we've had trade with. So
Do you think
I've gotten to see some.
your older brother has a more cush kind of gig, or is that something that you would never want yourself? Because it as much of a like bureaucratic sort of political thing that you have to do, I imagine his position is probably even more so that, right?
Right, no, but he's always been kind of brought up to expect to do that. He kind of fell in line pretty quick with my dad, since he's kind of chose to be the next king. So he fell in line pretty quick, and it even, kind of broke our relationship apart a little bit. He kind of became this hoity-toity, um, I've got to do the right thing. So, while I'm getting scolded by my parents for doing something wrong, he's standing right there too, acting like he's disappointed. So I think he enjoys it. We're definitely pretty different.
So you get well. I'll save the very personal brotherly questions for another time, but we'll move on to somebody else.
Another time. We're all right here. Let's go.
This is getting into territory of like fireside chat kind of discussions that you guys should prompt those questions out of Stony, but
Okay.
keep it in mind. Make a note. I don't know. I can't ask him one question and then proceed to go down a list of a million other ones, but trying to keep it quick and concise. Kobe, how about Detective Easter Tundraka? I imagine Dragonborn probably have been in some pretty hard labor before, especially considering their current standing in Nicanthes among the populace.
Oh yeah, there's some people who get some rough jobs, but my assigned job was ultimately to work for keepers of justice. So that was what I was told I was going to do, and so that started my career path. But my worst job within the keepers of justice, for sure, is this time that I was told I needed to go to a somewhat nearby town and collect these group of travelers that were just causing trouble. And my job was to convince them to come back and face justice. And unfortunately, when we got there, we were attacked by a hag and had to fend myself and then still win this group over. And it was hard pressed to get them back. They kept wanting to ignore me, and then we got back. They seemed upset that they were brought before Nicanthes. They act like they never heard of our city or the laws that are out there. It's not our fault that not everybody knows about us. So
Right, or that you're the world police. Sure.
Team
Yeah.
Nicanthes World Police. Of course, yeah.
It's an offshoot of They're a rogue agent, but
So
yeah.
it was I just looked at it. That was a bad job because you know what those guys weren't as bad as what people pictured them to be. So it was just rough first impressions kind of all around.
Sure. Just nobody understood anybody in that entire altercation. Let's see. Ian, how about Soul or Sailor Sun? I guess your memory being kind of spotty could be a little tricky, but I feel like the memory of a bad job would stick in there, right? Like there's got to be something you recall that you're like, that sucked.
It does, because never had a bad job.
Oh.
Served my queen faithfully. Amazing. I guess the worst job might be until I met everyone here, because I was looking for a way to get back to the moon. So I guess that's the worst job of trying to be like humility and whatnot.
There's a through line in some of you guys that you don't like the task that was handed to you, and it all seems to be tied to some sort of like I don't know, political hierarchy.
On these zoo warriors, man.
Yeah.
But I'm like super happy to be with you guys now.
So you like the people you're with, you just don't like the whole get back to the moon spiel.
Yeah. I think I'm figuring myself out now. It's like, do I even want to go back to the moon?
That's definitely a big question to ask, especially considering the moon is one of your patrons, right?
Yeah, right. Talk about a struggle.
Man, yeah, that's definitely some fireside chat conversation right there. Imagine
reflection like the moon.
It's getting deep, so deep. Oh my gosh. I have so many questions I want to ask you about the moon now, but moving on. Josh, Blibdupulip, Tug, Jane's Bane, wielder of Jane's Bane. All these titles. It seems like you are definitely a very job focused person, but to ascend from such lowly lows to a god, there had to have been a pretty wide spread of jobs that brought you here.
Yeah, I mean, basically my job, I've just had many jobs throughout my life. I'd have to say the worst job that I ever had to take over would have to have been being the man of the household at such a young age. Having to step up and fill a role that no young boy should have to do without guidance. And I think I've learned a lot and really powered through. I can't imagine that it's affected me in a lot of ways. I think I'm doing just fine.
Yeah. Did you ever have to sell flat steaks at bronze flat steak palace? I feel like you had to be the breadwinner, you had to bring in some income, and that I swear I remember you talking about bronze flat steak place. They just specialized in, I think they also specialized in some sort of frozen cream of some kind.
Yeah, I excelled at that position actually. I was offered management role, but I was already managing a household. I couldn't even start to think about, taking on a store, especially at such a young age.
Do you think they've franchised out since then? Do you think maybe you could get the Kuatoa to maybe purchase the franchise and take over, and you could sort of run that business on top of, everything else?
I mean, I'm sure I could. I'm capable of absolutely anything and all things. Is the desire there is more of the question. But it might be worth putting some feelers out and seeing what's going on. I'm never one to turn away from a financial opportunity.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, food for thought. I definitely didn't plant that seed there. There's no malicious intent with that.
Okay.
I literally just thought of that. I thought, oh yeah, bronze. You're gonna see some bronze. Definitely show up somewhere.
Oh well, I mean, I see bronze all over the place, and gold, some platinum, jewels, diamonds.
Oh no, I'm saying bronze, like BRAWNS instead of Brahms. Bronze, you know,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
not
I'm just-
I thought you guys were
bronze.
talking about prawns.
Yeah, prawns. Yes, the frozen crustacean ice
Are you
cream.
Calm.
Pan? Pen. Pum.
I know. I think I can help with this situation.
I think I can weigh in on the whole Pam situation. But yes, that concludes the fun facts, unless there's someone else lurking in the chat that I forgot about, which there's not. I hope not. Well, spooky voice, speak now if you are here. Okay, all right, good. All right, moving on. But yes, you guys are in a dark, dingy cave underneath the lighthouse. You came up across some rather strange humanoid figures sort of whirring away at this table in front of you. You've got some decisions to make about how you proceed here. Let me get some little background noise going.
Can you share in the
Yes, let me
Discord?
just... Cool. Okay, to Discord we go. Bingo bango, the stream is up. Josh, is this too loud? I always want to check. I don't want to deafen you. I think it automatically defaults sometimes to too loud.
I can't even. Oh, hold on. I'm not.
Jesus.
It's not too loud, but it is louder than. But it's fine.
Is that better?
That's good.
Okay. All right.
And you know you're playing music.
Yeah,
Only Josh can
it
hear
is
it.
so
Yeah,
quiet. I
I
don't
can't hear it on
understand. We should have figured that out when you were up here in Kansas City. I should have. But that's okay. That's all right. I do it more for the stream anyway. So if you weren't on your phone, I'd say you could just mute it, but then it might mute us too. So.
Well, I mean, I've already gone into the settings and looked at everything. I don't have anything turned up or changed or.
I think it's just the mobile is going to condense everything to mono speaker. So it's going to take our voices and the game all into one, and you can't isolate that audio from mobile maybe. So or if you can, I just don't know how to do it off the top of my head. But yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's more so just for me to not have dead air. But without further ado, yes, we will continue. So, you guys had progressed kind of along the caskets. You can sort of see around the corner here, there's some sort of like little, I don't know what you call them, dresser, like mirrors, some sort of, looking glasses of some kind around a chair. And then there are two figures. One looks like some sort of tiefling. The other one's maybe some sort of half-elf. And they're sort of around a apothecary table or alchemy table. It's kind of hard to tell from the distance. But there's, they're busy at work. They do not seem to notice you. They don't know you're here yet. Even the battle with the Fomorian deeper in the cave back here was not enough to garner their attention. So you do have a little, exit out to the right that seems to be, you can hear the ocean crashing against the island. It is a little bit of a climb, and it is narrow, only wide enough for one person. But Detective Easter, you and Nick are sort of the closest here. You can sort of see down into the water. It does look rather shallow compared to the rest of this cave. It looks as if it's sort of getting shallower as it gets closer to these figures off in the distance. As best as you can tell, it's about up to your waist, maybe your knees and some other portions. But you guys are sort of all making your way to the ledge over here, just sort of staying out of the water for now because you knew that there were some undead swimming around down there in the other portions, and you're just trying to stay dry. So as you all make it to this sort of tucked away little corner, sort of dock the caskets, and you plan your next move. Take it away.
Can I flap my arms to fly?
Flap your arms to just fly across the... Sure. Go ahead and give me a deception check, because you're going to need to fool yourself into believing you can fly if you want to make it across the water that way.
Not great. 6.
It doesn't matter what you got. You could have deceived yourself completely. You still would have jumped and flailed and fallen directly into the water, because you can't fly. You can't fly unless you have something I don't know about.
Guess we'll find out.
I kind of want to use my ability to fly over there.
Are you joking? Because I'm not going to make you do that.
I'm not going to use that right now, but I was thinking.
Oh
that'd be
no,
hilarious
I was talking.
after.
I was talking to Stony more so. I I didn't know if you wanted to start off this. Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. But
I expected a chuckle. I didn't expect a.
I'm ready, man. Let's go. I'm throwing checks at you left and right. So.
Well, do you think we should approach these figures, or what do you guys think here?
I actually can fly. I just need feathers.
I'd like to talk about that ore option.
Yes, the other option is to leave. Would you like to go down this tunnel and make like a banana and split?
No, I'm more like a tree. I'd rather leave.
Gotcha.
Nick sort of chuckles and says, "I always like a good botanical joke, but I'm not sure what bananas are."
They're amazing.
What do they taste
Kinda
like?
a moon pie.
Well, Tyrell, what do your elven eyes see? Can you make out who's over there or what they're doing?
So Tyrell, just beyond the corner, you can only see one of the figures, but it's hard to tell from this distance and in the dark just who these people are. They seem to be female by form, but you can't see their faces, and they're probably a good, I don't know, maybe like 30 to 40 gnomes away.
Oh man, they must be really womanly if we can see their female 30 or 40 gnomes away.
If we're really quiet, can we hear anything?
I'm jealous.
It's mostly just like glass hitting glass as they fill different beakers and vessels. There's a slight maybe crackle of a fire or a cauldron. There are like sort of echoed voices, and that's also what's leading you to believe this is the voices don't sound deep. They sound, a little bit higher, a little bit more feminine. So you can't make out what they're saying, but you can hear, them discussing something, and it appears to be they are totally focused on what they're doing at the table down here.
Are those bones that's covering the bottom of this cave?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Alrighty, I got add modifiers. 20 with my modifiers.
You sort of peer down into the water, and you maybe even take a step a little bit closer down to the rocks, and you sort of peer deeper into the water, and you realize that, yes, indeed, the thing that was building this sort of shore up to where you see these people is, in fact, the largest collection of humanoid skeletons you've ever seen in one place at a time. There is no end to the amount of skeletons that are coating the bottom of this water. You can start to see, as you pay more attention now, certain skulls and bones protruding from small portions of the small little cove area that leads up to these people. And that's about all you can tell.
Okay. So we see that. Do we see any indications of like a physical trap?
There's no traps as far as you can tell. It does
Okay.
look like just the act of sifting through the bones. Like you don't know how far the bottom is or how deep the bones are, if the bones are resting on something. The bones do seem to move a little bit with the water, but the water is pretty still back here at this corner of the cave, so there's not a ton of movement. But yes, it's hard for you to determine just how deep the bones go.
Okay. Well, I want to motion to the group to kind of look closer and see that all the bones are there. And is anybody able to detect if there's any magic in this area that would cause the death of all these things, or perhaps those two miscreants over there are the ones responsible for all of these corpses? Anybody?
Did we decide that they looked like just humanoids, or that they were weird looking?
Humanoids in the, like, you could see the tail on one and the like smaller sort of horns or antlers, which would lead you to believe one was a tiefling, and the other one you could see the ears sort of poke out by the hair, and a very like fair complexion of the skin. So you imagine that is either an elf of some kind, or a drow, or a half elf.
Sorry, I meant the bones.
Oh yeah, there's like you see dwarven bones, you see elven bones. If they're a wide enough array of bones that it does not seem to be like boiled down to just one type, but many.
I wonder if these could be the bones of the different experiments upstairs.
That's what I'm assuming it is at this time. And we must assume that those people over there must be involved.
Do we think that they can see us?
We could row over there and check, but I think it might be wise to see if there's any magical traps in the area. Can anybody use a detect magic spell?
Nick sort of says, well, I got a couple more scrolls, but kind of used that one on the front door already, so if somebody else wants to step up, that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, boys, I don't have any of those kinds of spells, so.
Are we sure that me using this detect spell isn't gonna like trigger them somehow? If they're not gonna sense that?
I'm not an expert on magic. I just know that magicians can sometimes detect other magic. Maybe one of the other members here could enlighten the party.
What kind of traps are you looking for, Detective Easter?
I can't detect magic, so.
Something to alert our presence if we were to move closer in on the suspects.
Should one of us just approach first?
No, wouldn't it be nice to know if there was a trap first before we head in and find ourselves in a whirlpool, or set off some sort of trap that unleashes a crossbow right at your head?
I'd agree, for sure. But seems like we're at a bit of a pickle with we either take the risk detecting with the magic, which may make us detected, or we just, I'm up for it, whatever. Just brainstorming here. I'm not...
I don't know how this all works. I'm not a magician. Tyrell, Tug, Sailor Sun, any insight in as far as magic goes?
Can we get around that thing behind me, or do we have to go in the water?
You'd have to go in the water. There's no ledge around the corner here.
Alright. Well, if we don't have any magics, I can just do it.
You can detect magic, or are you saying you're willing to go across?
I'm willing to go across.
Okay, well, if you're going to go across, we might as well at least be able to back you up, especially if they created this bone pile. It may get very hairy very fast. I recommend we at least have boats ready to propel. Tug, is there any way that you can get these boats to move in the water? Do you have power over the water like that?
I have power over the water, but I don't know if I can make boats move.
Could you displace the water around them to shoot them forward? Well, if not, no worries. We can just try to jump and surf our way across.
Well, I can only move 5 cubic feet of water. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, at least we thought about it. Yeah, so Christian, I assume that we brought all the coffins over here, and I'm just gonna get into one
Sure.
and just kind of prepare for a push off the ledge as Stony, what are you planning to do here? Are you planning to dive beneath the surface with the bones? And
No, I was just gonna surfboard on my belly on one of the canoes over to the steps. Is it steps to the right there, Christian?
Yeah, there's kind of steps to the right here, and then there's also more of a lead up over to the left where the whatchamacallit is.
Okay.
The
I was gonna
dressers.
approach the one on the right.
Okay,
If I could climb up that way on the other side of the cauldron.
sure thing. All right, so you're just slowly.
I'll get in the boat with. Or no, he jump on the coffin.
Huh? He's on the Stoney's on the coffin leading up to the stairs. Are you joining him? Is that what you said?
Well, I was going to join Easter. I thought he got in a boat.
no, so we
coffins are
use
both.
the coffins as boat, but you can join in mine, and we'll try to go around this backside, or we can follow Stony. It's whatever you want to do.
I want to get in the boat with you.
All right, let's do that.
All right, so you guys are kind of right behind Stony as he stealthily kind of paddles up. Stony, go ahead and give me a stealth check. See how stealthily you surf this board over there.
All I know is that these are some hellish flotation coffins.
Oh, dead bodies float. That's what keeps it up.
Is that what it is?
It's the salt water. It's extra buoyant.
Yeah. Yeah. Only a
It's a
400 pound only a 400 pound Dradraka or whatever he's called.
A dragon
I'll
board?
look at my weight. I'm pretty sure I'm under 400, but
So, Stony, you, yes, are a master of the water.
285, dog.
And manage to get the canoe right up to the steps, and you can kind of easily make your way up there without alerting them of your presence. Getting a little bit closer, you can really see what they're working on now. Most of everything they're working on is that, like, the glow of the cauldron is that same blue fire that you illuminated the lamp with, or the lantern upstairs. A lot of the instruments and tools seem to be the same types of, alchemy that you noticed on the second floor, where all the jars and everything were. So it's hard to tell. You don't know a ton about alchemy, but it does look as if they're either trying to understand what's going on the second floor, or what was going on the second floor, or they're obviously researchers of some kind, and it is related to what is going on in the tower above. This is sort of a hodgepodge thrown together setup, right?
Okay. I kind of want to creep around to where I'm hiding behind the big cauldron.
All right, go ahead and give me another stealth check, because you're going to have to kind of go down a little bit and then up in order to make it around the cauldron, and at that point you will be very close to the figures here. Are the rest of you moving up kind of behind him?
That was my plan, to move up to like that next coffin and
Sure.
be ready to go.
I'm right there.
So you guys are all kind of right there. You're all moving up.
Oh, we made it up. Awesome.
Soul, you said
I
you're
was
up
actually
there?
I was actually going to see how far away it was to throw my echo out on the other side of these unknowns.
Yeah, so you could echo.
Because I can just create the echo. I don't have to echo swap over there. I can just have
Sure.
an echo place there.
You could probably send an echo maybe to like this spot, like this portion.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as your echo would go, and there's
Okay,
there's
yeah.
not a lot to like hide behind over there, right?
Gotcha. Do things that are translucent, does that create a image in a mirror?
I would say yes, because
Okay.
a glass in a mirror would still appear, obviously be harder to
Mhm.
detect, but it would still be present in that mirror.
Okay. Well, my reaction, if anything happens, then is to place my echo over there. I'll wait to see what happens with Stony.
Sure.
Yep.
Rolled an 11.
All right. You step down. Your first step is good. It's solid. You go to put your second foot up onto the ledge, and as you do, you hear the figure on the right say, "Approach. We know you're there. Please don't be afraid. We're busy at work. What brings you to this island?"
Oh, hey, how's it going? I was just coming to say hi.
Very odd manner in which you chose to approach us. It's almost like you were trying to sneak up on us. They
Oh, no. I screamed a lot upstairs. I'm trying to save my voice. It's pretty hoarse right now.
They continue to work on what they're doing without ever turning around to address you fully. They say, "Did you kill that poor Fomorian?"
I don't. What's a polymorphin?
Fomorian, the creature contained within the stalagmites and stalactites. You caused an awful ruckus, and now it's awful silent. That poor creature did
Yeah.
nothing to you.
You see, we were just trying to I walked right up to him to say hi, just like I'm doing you guys, and he just went crazy. He started banging around, and one of those stalactites just fell right on him. Nothing we could do. We tried to revive him. We've got some stuff we could use, and nothing would work. We thought maybe you guys would know. We'd tell you guys.
Go ahead and
We
give
help
me
out.
a persuasion check. So it's a charisma.
I was waiting for him to be like, yeah, that beast attacked us, so we killed it. What about it?
That is a 14.
She kind of maybe, but you get the sense that she just doesn't care. So she sort of says, "Yes, well, I'm sure you had your justifications, but it's no matter anymore. What's done is done. Please tell the rest of your friends they can join us around the table as well. Is there something I can do for you? We are hard at work here."
And who are you?
We are the Witches 3.
Wait, are we close enough to just like? Yeah,
Close enough to what?
I imagine we would at least hear him.
yeah.
Yeah, you can hear them. It's a you're around the corner now. You're kind of up on away from the water. Yeah, it's not impossible to hear them.
Okay, so yeah, I'll move up. I just wave. Big grin on my face. I just wave.
They have yet to turn around. They're literally just talking to you. They have no desire.
You don't know if they can see me.
That's true. I'm not saying your wave was it. I'm just telling you they have yet to turn around and address you.
Wait,
You
wouldn't Christian be the one to know if they can see
That's
you?
what I was laughing about. You don't know me.
So is the third witch over there in that chair?
Correct in your assumption. Yes. Our sister is not interested in what we're trying to achieve here.
What are you trying to achieve?
To simply understand what was going on in this tower. Is the same curiosity what led you here to this place? This dark and evil place?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. Did you guys not go upstairs at all?
Oh, believe me, we have searched upstairs many a time. Most of the alchemical properties and instruments you see down here came from up above. We salvaged what we could and are proceeding to attempt to recreate what was done above, but albeit a more effective means of achieving this task without such hideous atrocities committed in the
You're
interim.
trying to reanimate the dead?
Yes. Not in the form of necromancy, but a more scientific means.
Why?
Why not? If you can master death, would you not want to live forever?
Some things are better left alone.
Ah, well,
So,
some seek
Some
this
things are
knowledge.
better messed with.
Some things are better what? I apologize.
Messed with. Eternal life sounds good to me.
I'm glad some of you agree, but I understand some of your hesitancy. Necromancy does have its negativities, which is why we strive to discover a safe and effective and non-horrific and atrocious way to achieve this.
Is that against the law in Nicantes?
We are not in Nicanthes, good sir.
Oh, sorry. I was asking that out of character. If I would know that that's against the law.
Necromancy is kind of taboo, but ultimately, if someone like Warren White, undead attorney at law, is allowed to practice law and is a upstanding citizen, it's not outlawed per se. But much like the Dragonborn, people, what they don't understand, they kind of fear.
Gotcha.
so are you guys like have a pact between you three that if any of you guys die, you're gonna bring the other one back? Are you gonna sell this, make it a business of anyone who is about to die? What are your intentions?
Our intentions are purely scientific. We do not wish to profit off of this, just merely benefit all of Paludaria. It is a noble cause. We are a noble group.
If this succeeds, what are you gonna do with this being that you brought back? What if they don't want to be brought back?
We would never bring anyone back against their wills. This is merely a means to better the world.
So the person's already said yes, bring me back.
Oh, this is something that would be predetermined before the person's death. And who knows? We're still discovering this. Depending on the loved ones, we may be able to bring someone back who's been dead for a long time. I've yet to fully understand the length and scope of this work, this research that has been done in this tower.
Did there used to be 4 sisters?
Nay, only ever 3. Why do you ask?
Are the bones from you guys?
I'm afraid the bones are not from us, no. The bones have been collected down here over time. Most likely from the atrocities committed upstairs. It appears as if this cove is the collector for these skeletons. They all seem to wash up here and remain stagnant. I ask you again, just your curiosities brought you down here? There was not some quest or some noble adventure that made you venture all this way? I imagine you had a fair run-in with some creatures on your way here.
Perhaps there are reports of dead bodies trying to reanimate, and they find themselves with an eye stuck up their ass, and we were brought here to see what the cause was.
Ah, yes, there are many number of horrors upstairs that still live to this day, or are undead to this day. But We do our best to keep our distance. These creatures are not understood by us fully, nor do they deserve any sort of punishment. They have served their punishment and continue to serve it on a day-by-day basis. It is not us to judge on them. It is not on us to deal out justice, which is why I wish you would have not killed that poor Fomorian. But lo and behold, those who do not understand fear things, and therefore destroy them. I see that your group is not much different than the general populace of Nicantes.
And you call it justice to leave these monstrosities alone in agony?
May not be justice, but it is not my place to deal out justice. I do not deal in justice, I deal in science, I deal in fact, I deal in discovery and research. If I can hope to understand these parameters more, then maybe someday I could save these individuals. But until I have all the variables, I refuse to take part or decide these creatures' fate.
Why doesn't your other sister care about this stuff like you guys do?
I'm sorry, why does what?
Your other sister not care about this as you do?
We each have our own inquiries. This is merely my hobby. The other two sisters have their own hobbies. We are spread far across Morningstar.
So that's not your sister right there.
We are not sisters by blood. We are sisters by trade. We are outcasts, witches, as known by the general populace. Some of us more misunderstood or understood by the accompanying towns we inhabit or live adjacent to. As I said...
And has anybody paid you for your services and your research yet?
No. The research that I am doing here is completely philanthropic. The research my sisters do may have some monetary gains, as well as some of the other sisters across Morningstar.
You're telling me that nobody has paid you to perhaps bring them back from the dead, that should they die?
That's correct. I do not interest myself in the politics of such things.
Isn't that what you're just doing anyways? Is bringing somebody back if they die? I'm merely asking if you had anybody who has been interested in that, perhaps to pay you for it.
No one has approached me as of yet. Why do you ask? Is there someone you have in mind?
Perhaps. But we have
So
yet
what's
to see
the-
your
what's the
faces,
going
and
rate for-
your sisters haven't introduced themselves.
I'm afraid my sisters are rather quiet. You'll have to speak to me.
What's the going rate for reanimation?
I do not care for your trivial coin, your talk of price. If you are willing to be a test subject, then we can use your services. I will not charge you for it. You do not need to pay me anything. You can merely be the next step in our process in understanding this. It is a noble cause to offer your body to science. There is no nobler cause.
Well, perhaps we can do a little bit better with the formalities here. Why don't you turn and greet us normally? We've only seen the back of your head so far.
I do not think that would be wise.
And why is that?
My visage is rather ghastly.
That makes two of them in our group then.
I do
If they
not...
start to turn around, can I close my eyes?
Sure. She says, I do not wish to bestow my visage upon you. Please trust me in this.
Are you cursed?
Nay, not cursed. Although some may perceive it as such. What me and my sisters are is of none of the business of yours. You may merely understand and hear our purpose. Our purpose is what matters here, not who we are or what we've become. We do not wish ill on you, which is why I have yet to turn. I'm merely saying this as a warning.
Gaze would harm us in some sort of way.
It could do that. I do not know
Do they have
who...
little snakes in their hair at all?
Nope. No snakes or anything. Just regular hair. She says,
And
please
what
take my
curse do
word
you-
for this. It is not a curse. It is merely a byproduct of our being.
But you won't tell us what you are.
I will not, for fear of you lashing out. You have already proven to me that your murder of the Fomorian proves that you have little restraint when it comes to understanding things beyond your understanding, which I cannot fault you for, but you must understand I would not jeopardize my safety with so many of you here. Granted, you may be underestimating your own safety by approaching in such a manner. You're lucky I heard you first, before I turned around on reaction. This could have been a very different encounter.
You do realize you're just making us more interested to see what your face looks like.
What is the phrase? Curiosity killed the cat? Are all warriors such a curious bunch that they must know the answers to everything? They cannot simply accept the fact that there are certain things they will not understand?
Are you saying that your gaze will kill us?
It could kill you. Some of you may survive.
Just your gaze, or your friend, your sister?
All of my sisters.
Christian, is there any recollection of some beast that would kill with some sort of gaze, or a curse or something like that may befall somebody?
Give me a...
I'm just trying to think if I've ever heard of that anywhere.
Give me an insight check. It's a wisdom.
Okay. I got an unnatural 20.
Okay. Based on what you've heard so far, and based on what you've encountered on your travels that brought you here, there do seem to be some weird similarities between, and this is only slight, but you do seem to sort of draw some connections, like fill in some dots between the hag in Edgewood and the two people you see before you here. You know that hags have the ability to shapeshift, and you know that their visage can be intimidating, but you don't know. I mean, obviously, based on what she's told you, there's varying degrees, maybe, of abilities. You don't know for sure. You don't know for certain, but that's as close as you could associate it to something that you've personally experienced.
Gotcha. And what is your names, sister?
Forgive me for being superstitious, but to give someone your name is to give them power over you, and I do not wish to give anyone power over me or my sisters. You may simply address us as the Sisters Three.
You guys need any help?
No.
Could you use some help?
What?
I could use some help in understanding what actually brought you here. I've heard a number of lame and unsatisfactory reasons. But if I could help you achieve whatever goal you set out to achieve in coming to this island, or provide some sort of information that would get you on your way and allow us to continue back to our work, I would be most accommodating.
Well, of course, can you tell us what you believe happened here, what you've discovered?
Clearly, some unhinged wizard took it upon himself to delve deep into the secrets of something beyond necromancy, channeling natural elements and powers that clearly developed the scientific developments of lightning in a bottle for Nicanthes. As best as I can tell, the attempts to reanimate the dead were failed and abandoned. So while the capture of this lightning in a bottle is quite a novel and interesting thing, there was clearly something here this wizard could not crack. And his unhinged mind led him to believe that the unwilling participants that you yourself have run across on this island were his way of discovering that. Now, that is merely speculation from what I have gathered, but I believe most of that to be approximate in its accuracy. Again, I ask, what brought you here?
Why would any of the nobles of Nicanthes be interested in this tower?
Did I say a noble? I said a wizard.
You did not say a noble. I said a noble. I'm asking you, why would they be interested in this tower?
I do not pretend to understand the curiosities of wizards, not unlike the curiosities of your warrior here. Some people simply wish to know. Some are more or less equipped to find those answers. Clearly, the wizard of this tower was not well equipped to discover the nature of life and death. Who knows? Maybe given a couple more centuries, they could have cracked the code. But how many more people would have had to die for that discovery to be made?
I'm sure we could do the math. I mean, there's how many corpses were up in that top room?
If you wish to count the corpses in this room, by all means, you may do so. Leave me to my work.
Well, now we both have work. 1, 3.
So you sort of approach the shoreline you're counting. Please count in your mind.
7.
Your friend is grating on my nerves.
I notice a lamp over there. I'm gonna have to go rub it.
A lamp? Where?
That little bottle thing. Close enough. It classifies as a bottle to me.
You're saying the table where they're at, or the one to the right?
The one to the right. That.
Oh, sure.
No, that's not Stony. Who's over there next to
Tyrell and Nick?
There, yeah.
Yeah, so you sort of rub your hand on the copper-looking, decanter of some kind, and it's not very dusty. These have obviously been in use a little bit more than the ones upstairs, but nothing comes out of it. It is warm to the touch. There is a little burner going on underneath it to keep it warm. You can't hold your hand on there long before it starts to get too hot.
Christian, do I see anything kind of around the area that would, I guess, indicate more of like these Witch's Coven or Hag's Coven or whatever, like what we found previously in Edgewood, whether it's something to do with the iron or something to do with like that circle that we found, or back at the house, or anything that was on their person, like the necklace. And seeing like an object or something in the area that would seems really out of place.
It doesn't seem out of place, but there is a banner with some sort of symbol on it, sort of hanging in between the mirror and the right side of the table. You personally don't recognize what that symbol is from, but it seems to just be sort of nonchalantly hung up on the wall. They're not hiding it from anyone. It's very proudly displayed. The other things you notice with your passive perception, like everything up there is alchemical, but the only thing that sort of stands out is they do have a single skull on a platter next to the candles. which you would expect them to maybe have more bones or corpses, granted on how full the room is with those things. But this one skull in particular seems to have importance. They're not addressing it, but it catches your eye. Excuse you.
I thought I was on. I'm sorry.
I'm sure your antics are all the rage at the local tavern. But again, I ask you, what brought you here to this Tower of Pestilence?
Well,
I have been frank with
perhaps
you.
you could...
Please be straight with me. It is a simple question.
Of course, well, we can answer that question, but would you mind telling me a bit about that banner there? Is that your sigil?
Again, more questions. When I'm the one asking the same one over and over, please tell me what you're doing in this tower.
We were bringing a flame to light at the tower.
Would this flame happen to be blue?
It would.
Did you retrieve this flame from that fisherman on the coast?
Yes.
Is there anything he provided to you? Information about the flame, its importance?
I believe our friend here, I won't give you his name, because apparently you'll just steal it. But, Elven friend, would you mind telling them the story of the blue flame? Please, spare no details.
Nick sort of looks at you and he kind of points at himself, and then he points at Tyrell. He says, "Which one?"
Sorry, is Nick an elf?
You don't really know what Nick is. He's got pointy ears, but you never really asked him.
Well, Drow, would you mind speaking up?
Again, Nick kind of points at himself, or he points at...
I'm going to point at Tyrell.
Oh,
So I'm not gonna say
Nick,
anything.
Nick sort of puts up his hand like, I got you. Okay, all right, just making sure.
I just under my breath a little bit. Poser.
Nick sort of like looks at his hand and then kind of closes his fist and then looks at you and then looks back at his fist.
I don't pay attention to it.
Okay. Drow,
Would you like-
speak up. Your friend addressed you. I would like to know what you know about this blue flame.
Not much. I mean, it's about a pretty sweet story about a star-crossed lovers, essentially. So maybe something to do with a little bit of soul.
Star-crossed, you say? What do you mean by this star-crossed?
Well, they weren't really traditionally to be together. They just happened to hit it off pretty well.
Yes, story, very well. Does this blue flame have any properties? What does it do?
Glows.
Ah, yes, very, very astute. You can see next to you in the cauldron, I have managed to reproduce this blue flame. Found
Oh wow.
manner of ingredients,
Oh, neat.
instructions to create this and many other things. I believe the journal lies next to the bed on the first story. Maybe you came across it.
Did you come across it?
I did. I scoured it, made my notes, took what I needed, and left the book behind. I'm not here to leave a footprint. I'm not here to be bothered, which is why I chose the seclusion of this area. I regret that I had to use the Fomorian in this way. I thought that it would keep outsiders away, and merely the stories of this place would be sufficient. Clearly, I'm wrong. And it cost that poor Fomorian its life.
And did you put the corpses underneath the water to come out and also attack?
No, those corpses remain, much like the anus-eyed monster you came across outside.
Oh, the brown-eyed girl?
Is that what you're calling it? I must confess,
It's such a funny name.
that is a catchy name.
I must say I'm very curious as to why you're only looking at the one skull there, as opposed to all these other ones.
This skull seems to have interesting properties. I have yet to discern what those properties are. The reason I ask about the blue flame is because when I hold a blue flame close to this specific skull, it does glow in an ethereal manner. I've held the blue flame to many a skull, many a bones in this flooded cave, and this is the only one I have come across that has any sort of reaction to the blue flame, which is why I ask you what you know of it. What's properties? What does it do? What purpose does it serve? The notes are rather vague. In his journal, they only tell me how to create it, not what it does. If there is something to do with this story that you seem to know that has any tie-in to its function, I would not mind you paraphrasing such.
Well, all means, Drow, please paraphrase the story.
I don't have anything on the blue flame. I see a lot about lightning in a bottle.
You said you took this blue flame and you put it where?
At the top of the tower.
Found it, technically.
So it clearly had some sort of sentimental tie. Is that correct?
I think so. I didn't know that there was anything more than that.
Is a blue flame not a curious thing? As you can see, I do not light my workstation with a blue flame.
There appears to be a lot of curious things about this tower. Random people showing up here, and people of the city keeping their eyes upon it. And now there's legends of a blue flame, and now we find some secret witch's coven down here that's tinkering away.
Secret coven, you make us sound as if we are doing evil. We are doing work that is merely not understood by the masses, so yes, we must do our best to conceal our work.
You paused there for a second. It sounded like you were about to tell me as to what you actually are. Would you enlighten us? And we can be on our way. Perhaps we'll have no other questions.
And perhaps you'll decide that what I am is a monster, and you should kill it. I think that would be ill-advised for both you and your party. Simply no, I do not wish you harm unless you wish it upon me. I will do everything I can to maintain a peaceful solution to this encounter. If you had information, I was willing to parlay with you to divine more and maybe an understanding. You never know. The unassuming general public can sometimes have good insights into things that more intellectual species would overlook.
I don't know. My PDA, I don't know. Yeah, no.
I'm going to toss a rock into the cauldron.
All right.
Stir the pot a little bit. Let's see what happens.
You plop it in, and it sort of disappears into the liquid fire. There's like a little, sizzle or whatever. But nothing happens. It appears to be the same exact blue flame that you created in the cauldron up above. Same one that was contained within the lantern that you brought out here and then relit after it had been extinguished.
Are there any levers in this room?
You do not see any big levers in this room.
And those mirrors, are those mirrors that that third witch is sitting at?
Yes, you can sort of see maybe like an outline of someone, but they're very well concealed behind the chair. And the mirrors, as you sort of look closer, They appear to be very dingy. Like, they're not actual mirrors. They appear to be some sort of polished metal to conceal the true reflection of what is in the mirrors. It's like a very polished copper, but still brushed.
And so, sister, you believe that your work here is doing good by bringing back the dead which should remain dead. It is an honor to die, to go into pass into the other life. And
That
yet you
may
seem to want to
be well
take it
and
away.
fine for some of you. But as some of your party has already expressed, the option to live a longer life is rather agreeable.
And who determines what kind of longer life that we get to live? You see, our party is quite mixed. We have those who might only live, if they're lucky, to be 100 years, and we have those who will live quite possibly a century or more and not bat an eye. But who am I to say, or who is anybody to say, that one of us should get to live longer than our race determines?
I'm not seeking to answer these questions. That is for each and every individual to discover for themselves. I'm merely solving the mystery of
And where does that stop?
scientific
What happens
necromancy.
when this technology runs into, let's say, the wrong hands? What could your technology do?
Why do you think
in
I
the
am
wrong
keeping
hands?
it so secret and so secluded and not trying to turn a profit, but merely understand it? If
Then why aren't you working with the top scientist over at the Artificers College?
again, those
In the daylight, you were hiding
artificers
in the
were
dark.
given the knowledge, none of them earned it for themselves. I do not
True knowledge
respect
seekers
the
would do their deeds in the light, not in the dark. Yet you hide here and claim to be monsters.
Do not
that
pass
can kill
judgment on me. I do these things in the dark, for these secrets are dark. If this discovery that I made turned out to be worse for Paludaria, you can trust that I would destroy it and no one would be the wiser. But can you imagine telling a noble of a kingdom that you could make them live forever? What they would do to obtain that? What they would do even after you told them that this was a bad idea? That they would continue to support and foster such research? That is
I can
why
only
I keep it
imagine if
among my
somebody
sisters.
With that kind of power over people lived for such a long time. I can only imagine what things would happen. They would get to their head, perhaps go insane, if they were to continue to die naturally and come back. Again, why do you continue this research? Why not just burn it all to the ground and keep what is dark hidden forever?
Again, we all have our hobbies. This is merely mine. My sisters have other interests, more trivial or more
I
exploratory.
don't know many people with hobbies to start the apocalypse, so it seems.
I do not wish to start an apocalypse.
You just like to see if it's possible.
Nay, I wish to understand it. Once I can better understand it, then we have that power over it. When you have the power of a thing, you have the absolute control of it. And then you can destroy it at will. If you have the power to destroy something, then you have the true power of it. I do not know how to destroy this magic, but it persists here.
I'm gonna kind of like pace, slightly as just absorbing this all in and bantering back and forth and grab for my taser a little bit, grab for my sword a little bit, but ultimately just kind of share that nonverbal clues that I'm agitated with these people and I don't think that what they're doing is right.
I'm gonna do chicken jacks.
Your group is becoming rather restless. I hear you moving behind me. Are you planning to attack?
Scan the room and look to see if there's any way out.
So it's a pretty well enclosed cove. The only way out that you know is around the corner and to the right. You notice that some of the coffin canoes have started to maybe drift away a little bit. They're not out of reach yet, but may not be a terrible idea to secure one.
Then I'm going to go ahead and reach with my staff to kind
Sure.
of pull him back.
Yeah, you got one close by. So the
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to
Sure,
attack
sure.
or
Yeah.
initiate attack. I'm just trying to, demonstrate that I'm frustrated that I'm not on board with them bringing back the dead, but I don't know if I have grounds to just attack these people, and I don't know if they'll turn around if all of a sudden they're a bunch of witches who will kill us, and if that means that we should actually just kill them instead. It's kind of they're bluffing us with nukes, so.
You do surprise me, Dragonborn. Your perspectives are not that of what I would typically expect of your species. What do you do? Do you work for the city of Nicanthes?
I am loyal first to my clan, as
Of
I will
course.
always be.
Blah blah blah.
And so hearing that you're going to start to bring people back is only going to oppress the Dragonborn, specifically
say
my
oppress?
clan, more.
Did you say oppress?
How would this not oppress? Putting leaders in charge
Does this
over
not oppress
the
you?
classes? Who can afford such a procedure to bring you back should this fall into the wrong hands? When we're here to assume that these sisters are the right hands, when they may in fact be monsters.
I mean, I could probably afford it.
I can only assume, based on your tone and the way that you speak of things beyond your control, is you must be one of those idiotic keepers of justice within the boundaries of Nicanthes. Even as old as the keepers of justice are, they are so young in the grand scheme of things, and their ambition and naivete appalls me. If I lived inside this city of Nicanthes, I would do everything I could to keep my distance from such people. These people, like the Keepers of Justice, are the exact people we are trying to remove ourselves from, because what they do not understand, they fear. Merely the thought of trying to understand such a thing is puzzling to them, so what they do is they oppress it.
I was waiting for it. Did you say oppress? Like Cameron just jumps back and forth from different sides.
Zoned out. You talked for a long time.
Good to know that what I'm saying is not being heard.
I'm just over here making faces and like tapping my nose, like, oh damn, like that one's pretty. I think she called that one.
Well, you claim to know that a time before the Keepers of Justice. Just how old are you?
My age is not relevant, but if you could understand or simply allow yourself to believe for a moment the things someone could discover given infinite time, even you, my scaly friend, could potentially understand what we're trying to do here, and that we do not wish harm. We are simply coming from a place of understanding. If you do not understand, I do not blame you, but I have not pushed any of my ideals on you. It would only be courteous for you not to push yours on me.
I'm not pushing my ideals on you. I'm simply stating what is right and what is wrong. And to bring back the dead just because you can, it's not right. If somebody is dying and you're able to save them, that is great. But if somebody is dead, it is best to let the dead lie.
You may have your prejudices. I do not care to heed them. Is there anything I can do for you before you leave my workstation?
Yes, you can get yourself registered with the city of Nicantes, so that way we may keep a track on your work. I believe
Please.
that the artificers would like to know what is going on here so that this does not end in the wrong hands. How can we trust your word? You have not given us anything to trust you with.
I have given you all of the information which you desired. I asked you one simple question which brought you here, and you have yet to answer. By all means, go tell the artificers what we're working on here. They are too superstitious to come and investigate for themselves, much like the majority of people. Stay away from this island. Clearly, there's not enough suspicion, enough doubt, enough fear in your minds, because you all bullheadedly found your way down here, killing innocent things all along the way, because you do not understand them. Please tell the artificers, and please feel free to come back with your documents. I'll happily sign them if it will remove you from these premises. Also know that this lighthouse is not in the jurisdiction of Nicantes.
Yes, I am
I've come to
understanding
find
of
out
the
that,
boundary.
that all things are in the jurisdiction of Nicantes. Just you might want to be careful with that statement.
Maybe if you allow yourself to enter the city gates.
I mean, some of us are snakes, and they don't exactly tell the truth.
Who might you be referring to?
Oh, I think they know.
Ah, but I want to hear you say it.
He or she is referring to, of course, the attack on the Keepers of Justice. It was done by snake people, the Yonti.
I do not know of such things. Were they successful?
And they were unsuccessful.
Hmm.
You guys know who Derek is?
We do not
Darik.
know anyone named Derek.
Darik.
Daru? No.
Derek. What? I can't say his name right. You know, he was an old.
Bodas Daru, that my character
Yeah.
didn't know his name.
Yeah.
Did you say Vo Dusk Daru?
Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Where did you come across Vo Dusk Daru?
Oh, in a magical place in the forest of wonders, and time makes no sense, and the points don't matter.
Yes, I've experimented with drugs as well.
No, I mean that's really where we met him in the forest.
Which forest?
The Black Forest.
I believe that the madam here is referring to Lambros Forest.
You
That's
mean to tell me that you ventured into Lambros Forest and found Vo Dusk Daru?
Yes. Yeah.
And you're standing here today speaking to me.
Absolutely. I mean, look at this. Do you think that these colors don't run? Okay.
What deal did you strike with Vo that allowed you to keep your lives? What lowly state would he have been in that he would not have vaporized you on sight?
Yeah. Tyrell, I think he's the historian of the group. He's got a better understanding.
Worked out pretty well so far.
Boom. Did you do a hip thrust when you said it?
That's all
I
right.
put my head behind my hair.
I don't understand why that was so funny, but did you
Just
did
boom.
you hip thrust when you said that?
You know, like like the X, like you know where you put your hands and you X your crotch.
Yeah.
And you hit...
Oh yeah, worked out so far.
Degeneration X over there.
I'll let the historian explain.
I do not need to rehash things. It's merely a curiosity.
Well,
that
you just yelled at us for not answering your questions. Now I'm trying to answer your question, and you're belittling us. This is a good story. This was a year and a half of our lives that only turned out to be 2 weeks.
I regret to say I'm getting caught up in the moment and asking questions when I realize I do not wish to speak to any of you.
It's okay. It's my personality. It really draws people in. I'm used to it.
And what concerns you so much about the name Vodas?
He's a powerful archlich who went missing a long time ago.
You guys met an archlich.
I did not meet him when he was an archlich. I knew him before.
Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the members of the group here. I was unaware of this. I picked them up near Lambros.
We've been through this. I'm a god.
Clearly,
Yes,
there are a great number of things your companions failed to tell you.
I want to know about him before
You found an archlich.
And they clearly made some sort of deal with this archlich. I would approach carefully, Dragonborn. These people may have ulterior motives, in which you do not understand.
The deal
Trust
was...
me, I have seen them through thick and through thin. I've seen them at their worst, and I've seen them at even worse than that. But they have the heart of a hero.
The
And
deal
when
was...
combined, they can do great good.
Ah, yes, I've come across many wonderful
he
heroes.
He lets us pass, and then he doesn't have to deal with the consequences. That's how I remember that deal going.
Consequences? Who would Vodusk have to worry about consequences from?
Whoever had his book, or his heart, or his Bible. Once again, the historian's supposed to be filling us in on this.
Yeah, I mean, I would just
There
say
was-
that we were there and
Was a
back.
dragon?
Clearly, we're kind of scary.
Again, this is why I keep such matters secret from the general populace. If I can only assume someone has located and isolated his phylactery, which is the only reason why anyone of such a power would have to kneel to the whims of someone else.
There were rumors of a dragon in Lambros. Some of the kobolds that we found leaving there, we had information that they may have worked for an emerald dragon.
Interesting.
Did you guys ever make it actually towards the emerald dragon? I found you in quite the disheveled state, and of course when I met you all it was lies, lies, lies. Which I assume I am always being told.
Well, some of us may have been startled by a dragon, but not all of us.
Well, Shadarkai, would you mind to enlighten us then a little bit more?
On what? What?
Your adventures with this dragon, and perhaps if his or her involvement with this Vodas Daru, this
What are we trying to
Archlich.
get over here? I guess I'm
I'm trying to understand why it's
I'm ready to
important
go.
for
I
these
don't-
sisters.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go.
Terrell's leaving?
I'm going to the next place. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. And I grab Soul. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, we out of here.
Well, there goes my historian.
So, did like Derek break up with you before he came? Like scary?
He
I mean,
was...
usually they don't break up until after they come, but
Merely an acquaintance. I do not
Sounded pretty
bother
salty,
bother ourselves with such trivial things as relationships. There are far more important things in existence than companionship. The only companionship I need is that of my sister's professional relationships.
Said by someone who's sad. I yelled that from afar.
You sound oh so happy.
Are any of us really happy? Or is that life's journey in pursuit of happiness?
There must be something in the air down here that brings forth all these philosophical conversations. I'm sorry, I'm losing my patience again. Do you...
It seems you've lost a lot of patients down here, and their corpses are littered everywhere.
No! But
I had to. It was too good.
that's inspiration. I mean, that's everyone gets inspiration points now.
I'll think about
I'm
it.
inspired.
If we're not doing anything else, I guess I don't have any other line of questioning. It doesn't seem like we're gonna fight them, so I'll probably leave, I guess.
Well, I mean, we've never even come to the point of why they're here.
Nope, we have not. I would like to figure that out, but I don't have a good way of doing that. But would you mind helping to figure out why they are here, madam?
Well, I mean, we have to take what they're saying as truth, because I mean,
I would like to know why you're here.
we told you the blue flame thing. It's a good story.
All I heard was that you put a blue flame in the top of the tower. No one said anything else.
The old man outside was in love with a woman that worked with the crazy guy. She was not very thrilled about the work that he was doing when he started going a little loony, but she felt invested and kept coming to work. Well, he got upset because the loony guy was upsetting the people and had her put the blue flame in the window every day so that he would know she was okay. Then one day the people got mad and burned the thing down, and he looked out the window and there's like no blue flame, and the crazy guy's dead, apparently. She's dead, apparently. The building doesn't really look all that burned to be burned down and killed 2 people, and we were asked to put the blue flame in the top.
Excellent.
So
You could have said that from the beginning. Here.
Then we went,
She tosses you the skull. She says, "This is a restless spirit. You've been sent here to put this spirit to rest." The skull glows an ethereal blue when you hold the blue flame to it. Please take some of the blue flame, hold it to the dismembered body parts, collect a full skeleton, and proceed to lay it to rest. Your spirit will do exactly that. Return to the spirit world, and it can finally die in peace. You can go back to your fisherman. You can inform him that his love has been laid to rest and no longer haunts this tower.
oh,
Very simple, clean cut. I've seen a million like it before. Very simple. I'm sure there's some sort of monetary gain. I'm glad I could help you with your problem. You may now leave my cave.
See, I like you. I feel like we've really bonded. Like, I'll come back and see you sometime. How
I
about
will not be here.
Well, why not? How are you going to do
We
your
are
research?
moving.
Oh, well, where are you going?
I do not wish to tell any of you that.
But how am I supposed to know where to come to be reanimated?
I'll leave a note for you.
But I'll be dead.
I stay alive then. Don't know what to tell you.
Well, you can't ask for volunteers and then not tell them where to be brought to.
She says, "Here!" She, scribbles on something, and she slides it to the corner of the table, and it's like a piece of paper. You don't know what it is, but you have to approach the table in order to get the piece of paper.
I'm going to look at the shiny pot in that right-hand corner
Mm-hmm.
and walk towards the table.
Okay, so you're using the reflection off the copper thing to sort of walk towards the table backwards?
Yeah.
Sure. You kind of do that, and you feel the heat of the cauldron. It kind of helps you around as you back up, and you sort of feel your hand on the table, and you grab the note. You sort of bring it to your face, and you see it says, I owe you. And it has the sigil on it that's on the wall.
Oh, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to put that in the bag of holding.
Does that look like any other cloths that you've seen in your bag of holding, that sigil?
I don't see jewel. I know you guys have been talking about the cloth, but I've apparently missed it when you've been showing it.
I haven't shown you the sigil.
Okay.
But I've described it. I mean,
it's all good. I have an IOU from the witch's sister.
I was just trying to think if it was that thing that Billy and Tug fought that witch a long time ago in Giant's Bones. That's the only thing I can think of, but obviously I don't know that. So.
No, that was just a skull, wasn't it? There's a blue. I thought it burned up.
I know what's in your bag of holding, but I'm not going to tell you what's in your bag of holding.
Oh no, I know I've got it. I know I have it in my bag of holding. On cloak. I'm
going to use the restroom for 2 seconds while you figure out what's in your bag of holding. Be right back.
Yeah, Josh, that's the only thing I can think of is that you talked about the witch's coven. Like if we had that sort of banner, if we took anything from the witch's house in Edgewood that would have had that sigil on there. I mean, I took the Anna's Hag necklace, but that's back in lockup. And Christian talked about it being like a plain thing and like not really big stuff was on that. But
I'm pretty sure that I was pretty sure of this to begin with. I cut that thing up and gave it to the Kuatoa to wear to keep the sun off of them.
Gotcha. You've used it. You've used it several times. I know you have.
No,
I just didn't know if you recognized it.
I have a blue sun sail and a tarp, but that flag has been. I don't even have that in my bag of holding anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean, the only other thing you could do is do like some sort of like memory check if you remember if this is the same sigil, or you're like, hey, is this? Can I think back if it is because I used it a long time ago? That's the only thing I'm thinking of.
I have a large cloak
because that would at least tie in like, oh, this is that hag or whatever we fought in Giant's Bone.
I'm back.
Or if it connects to Edgewood or something. Yeah.
Christian, I used that flag to make the tarp for the Kuatoa.
Yep.
Because I have it erased from my bag of holding.
Yeah, it is correct.
So, can I do a memory check to see if I know it's the same?
You can do an insight check, yes, wisdom modifier. It's a big roll.
No, I didn't have them out of the satchel.
Oh.
He added the inspiration from my awesome pun earlier.
I actually do have one inspiration.
I was going to say, you guys have inspiration points to use already.
12. That's not a very good roll.
You vaguely remember it. It does seem to, like, scratch at the back of your mind, but you don't know for sure. I mean, it's
harder.
So you're going to use your inspiration point?
Sure.
All right, erase that, but you dig deep and you do your best. Like, it's on the tip of your tongue. You can't think of it, but then suddenly you find the information you need and you realize that it is indeed the same coven of witches the symbol that's on the note in front of you, the one that's on the banner behind. You have seen this before. You saw it in the hut of the hag next to Edgewood. You saw it in the giant skull of Giant's Bones, and you now see it hanging on the very wall of this cave.
Can I have your tarp?
Why do you ask for my banner?
It brings back memories of pleasant days gone by. I like the colors.
Memories, you say?
Yeah, I used to have a tarp kind of like that, and I came up with a really good idea to help some of my followers. And when I look at it, it makes me happy because I know that my followers are taken care of.
Where did you get that flag from?
I found it somewhere. Don't know.
You don't recall where you found this flag?
Well, I don't saying it's the same flag. I told you I like the colors. You're a witch. Can't you just like make multiples of them? Like, oh wow.
It's a symbolic gesture. I just merely wish. My sisters and I are very secluded creatures. I am just curious that you said you recognized it.
I don't believe I ever said I recognized it. I said I liked
believe I heard you say you recognized it. Yeah, everyone heard recognized.
it. Never once said
Please, enlighten us on what did you recognize?
that it's a tarp. I never once said I recognized it.
Well,
Like I don't know where that's coming from, but never. I said I like that.
I don't know. Something here reminds me a bit of Edgewood. Have you sisters been in Edgewood?
I've never been to Edgewood.
Then have you always been the sisters three?
No.
Were you the
Who
sister?
were the other sisters?
The Sisters 3 is merely a misleading name. There happen to be 3 of us in this cave. But as you would assume, and as you have learned from me, power and knowledge are a tricky thing. Someone knows something about you, and they have power over you. If you knew the exact number of sisters in the Sisters 3, that would be critical knowledge to assist you.
So is the third one sitting over there in that chair? Because there's only 2 of you here.
There is our third sister in the chair. She is resting. She is much less agreeable than myself. It would be wise for you to stay where you are.
Well, since we're remembering things in Edgewood, I happen to remember, Stoney, you'll like this story, or perhaps it might enrich you a little bit. A bunch of children and townsfolk who were oppressed by these Annis hags.
You said oppression?
They were quite oppressed.
Will you look at the
And
time
you talk about power over somebody.
here around
It
the corner?
certainly seems like these Annis hags had power over the children in the area. Since we're talking about things that remind us of other things.
I was gonna get Nick. That's not his name. Where the fuck's my name?
It's Nick. Yeah, as you sort of pass by Nick on your way down, you sort of grab his shoulder. He says, "No, I'm sticking around for this." So
Curious, very curious that we have a remembrance of things, and my mind takes me to Edgewood. Now tell me,
I'm not
Sisters
gone.
three.
I'm holding on to the corner over there, just watching.
Okay.
would your sisters of many more happen to have stayed in Edgewood, and would you in fact happen to be an Annis hag?
What befell these hags in Edgewood?
My sword.
The sister you've been talking to turns around.
Remember, I closed my eyes.
You prepared a
It looks
reaction or
like I'm
anything?
faced the other way. But I did have a prepared reaction just in case I needed to echolocate somewhere.
Yes.
Just leave me here, bastard.
No, I would just go to the other side of tactical advantage.
Yeah. So, the other sister turns around with her. Stony, you had your eyes shielded. You were prepared for this moment. Detective Easter, you, in your prepared response, are you choosing to switch places?
I'm gonna echolocate to the other side.
You echolocate to behind the chair.
To at least avoid the initial gaze of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just echolocated closer to the other one.
That's okay, dog. I'm a fighter. You guys are runners.
I'm not a runner. Blib doesn't run, but there was no battle when there was no battle going on when
it's about to go down now. It's about to get really
dark.
interesting. Tyrell up in there.
You hear Nick say, "Oh shit!" As
it's dark, I really can't see what's going on, but I can hear.
As something scurries past you to your left, Detective Easter, and into the water, you see Nick sort of shield his eyes. But he manages to avoid the gaze in time, the initial one. As you all are sort of averting your eyes, the other two sisters jump into the water. They're submersed in the water. You can't see them. You have to use your imagination here.
Oh, there was somebody else over there.
Was there?
Well, that figure over there.
Yeah, that's the one that ran past you.
Oh, that was the third sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm noping around the corner.
Hey, it just got real fucking interesting up in here.
Like
I'm
over
over
the water.
again. Josh, we finally have something connecting us to the very fucking beginning of the game. This is important.
I plan on watching it from where Tyrell
I just like the
Sailor Moon
the
are.
look here of Tyrell and Sailor Sun running away. Whoa.
Some of us have common sense. Other ones were just looking for a fight, Aaron.
Hey, sometimes a fight comes to you. Sometimes these people just get in your face and you gotta do it.
I heard him fall in the water, so I'm gonna open my eyes and kind of like squint, look around.
All you see is like the slight like movement of like skeletons under the water. There's no perceivable like sort of wake or anything. They appear to be submerged maybe beneath the bones somehow.
Jesus Christ! What did you say? Who the fuck are the anus? Who the fuck's the anus hag?
These anus hags were terrorizing the town of Edgewood. They disguise themselves, one as a leader and one as an old witch down the road.
Nick.
And they were deceiving all the children and forcing them to do their slave labor.
Yo, what's up?
They attacked myself and the Zoo Warriors, and we fought valiantly, and that was the first time we met Sailor Sun.
Nick.
Yeah, what's up?
Grab the banner.
Okay. He kind of runs over and uses his dirk and cuts it down real quick and kind of runs over with it in his, and he goes, "What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it?"
I'm gonna put it in my bag of holding. Now toss it to me.
All right, here you go. And he kind of tosses it down to you. Everybody roll.
Tony, what do you think will happen if we push this fire?
Everybody roll initiative.
Oh damn.
3 anasacs. Let's fucking go, dude.
In this very confined place.
I don't give a fuck. Let's go.
I am going right out that door.
Hey, we haven't played in a while. We're getting some action in. Tyrell was bored. We're fucking going for it now.
Wait a second.
Count off.
I mean, I think we need to rewind a little bit. I had a internal reflection on if I realized what that
internal. Okay.
So you said some things out loud, but I also recognize
Never
this
said anything.
reminded me of Edgewood. This reminded me of Edgewood, and then I got curious about the
Oh,
flag.
yeah,
you start talking about the flag.
When
and
it
so that
didn't
just made me
when it
think
didn't work
Edgewood.
when it didn't work for me, you made it about you. That's right. So you are all to blame for this. This is all your fault.
Hey, I was hoping you would just fucking bring up, oh, hey, I have actually seen this before. We fought a fucking hag or a witch. that
Yeah,
had the same symbol.
I think things through before I say them sometimes.
No, let's get after it.
Not
This
all
is
the time.
injustice.
Blacksmith.
This is injustice.
All right,
They-
starting at 20, 19, 18,
Well, I didn't roll.
17,
Detective Easter.
16, 15,
Blib, 16.
15, 14.
Tony.
Me from way far.
I keep
both of
thinking
you have
said-
14?
You say Tony.
Yeah. Both at 14.
Yep.
Oh, fight to the death.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Tyrell, where'd you land?
I didn't know if I had gotten away or not, but I got 9.
'Kay.
If I'm being...
Oh. Have my cards laid out. Like, I thought we were going to be peaceful.
Josh, how can we be peaceful with such injustice and oppression around us?
You know, I was able to weed through the bullshit and figure out. What we
Hey, these two sisters tried to kill Blib Dupula. How could you stand for that?
They didn't
Two
try
of their
to.
sisters.
These 3 sisters.
Detective
haven't
Eastern,
done
you are up first.
anything But help.
Awesome. What
So-
I'm going to do is, number one, move my echo
Mhm.
close to the shoreline. So I'm just going to go kind of like there in the middle a little bit.
Like here?
Actually, no, closer to, I guess that coffin that's over there.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to move there. Then I'm going to talk to Stony. Stony, do you think we could use this cauldron of fire and throw it out over the water? Do you think it has any sort of magical properties that would harm these hags?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what is in the cauldron.
Me neither. It just seemed like a cool idea.
Is any? I mean, that could also not let us get back to safety if you turn the water into something.
No,
really
I can fly us back. I'll save that spot for us.
Okay, all right, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Okay. So, one of my actions, I guess, I'll reserve for when Stoney's allowed to move, and we can throw that out, or can we do that now? Or do we need some checks
We
in
can
here?
wait till Stoney's turn.
Okay. The other stuff I was going to do is just prepare the rest of my time. Since I can't see anything, I'm going to prepare a defense.
That's fine.
So just be ready to defend myself, like to jump out of the way of a spell or to block an attack. So,
Sure.
yep, that's it for my turn.
Tug, Blibbity Pool Up, you're up.
Run away!
You can do that. There's
No.
technically you guys don't know that they didn't run away either. Like they've yet to show themselves.
But you said initiative.
Yeah.
We're in the
Just saying. Just saying.
Oh,
Hey,
Beto.
if there's experience on the line, Tyrell will kill a child. Well, we've seen that.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
What is it?
What?
What is it? What was the spell? Chill to what?
Shield of Faith. A
Oh,
shimmering field
shield.
appears. Yeah. +2 to my armor class.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Bless on Stony, Detective Easter, and myself. You bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll. Good grief. A d4 and add the number rolled to the attack or the saving throw.
In the future, do blessing first, because it's a spell and it doesn't require concentration or maintain concentration. The other one is a spell that's going to maintain your concentration.
Yeah. No, bless. They both require concentration.
Is it concentration in preparation to do the spell, or is it constant concentration on maintaining the spell?
It just says there's just a C in a diamond. I guess that means concentration.
Yeah. Does it like?
Well,
it's all right. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna let you do both. I just
Yeah, I forget. I'll pay attention to it. I'll
So
make it.
ultimately, we get a D4 to either attack or a saving throw. Is that right?
Yeah, on your before my next turn, so you have to use it on your next go.
God bless. There we go. Bless.
That's right. But yeah, I'll make a note. I'll write that down in my notes, Christian.
no worries. Okay.
Oh, see, I have notes. Let me roll my d20.
For chaos magic, roll it twice because you
Oh God.
2 spells.
I can't wait to see a 1 in this shit.
God. It finally happened. I got a 1.
Oh no.
All right.
What is in the roll now?
Okay.
Oh no.
This is gonna be a party kill. What's just about to happen?
Roll a percentage die and a d10.
Okay, the percentage die, yeah. 20?
Jesus Christ.
5.
So you feel something strange on your forehead as a third eye grows out of your forehead. It's another eye stalk to match your
He
other
just looks weirder.
match your other eyes. So your 2 eyes sort of like cross and look at this new addition to the group. Sort of like that 3-headed dragon meme where it's like really
Oh, God,
fearsome kind of and like the
funny.
derpy one.
But I'm obviously the fearsome one. I have 3 eyes.
Yes, but you have advantage on wisdom perception checks for this next combat, or like this coming combat, or whatever.
So
That's not a bad one. That's a pretty good one there.
So just for this combat,
Yeah.
the wisdom and So what did it do?
Perception. So perception is a wisdom.
Okay, so I'm proficient in wisdom now. For
You have
this.
advantage. You're not proficient in it. You have advantage.
Oh,
Yes,
I get 2 rolls.
correct.
Nice.
Probably
You can just
won't
see better.
come up in battle, but
Just the fact that it has a third stalk of the eye.
Does it go away at the end of this? The eye?
It does.
Oh,
Oh.
I mean, you don't know that. It might be there forever, but you know, that's what you rolled was a temporary thing.
So did Nick see this happening?
Yeah, Nick sort of witnesses this, and he's like, "Oh, cool! I didn't know you could transform."
I just straight look him in the face and say, "You ain't seen shit yet."
Clearly. Is this even your final form?
I haven't even started. I'm so happy that you quoted that because I was just.
He's been all on the Dragon Ball Z.
This is not. This isn't even my final form.
I think that's
Dragon Ball
your.
Z
I think that's your
is-
turn. We're moving
not
on. No
good.
Dragon Ball Z talk. We'll go down a rabbit hole.
Until-
Soul,
until
it's your
Android.
turn, Soul.
When Trunks shows
Soul.
up, Dragon Ball Z gets good.
Sailor
That's all I
Sun.
want to say.
Sailor Sun, you're up. You might be. I don't know if you're on mute or not, but.
And you can take it to the bank.
I don't disagree with you. I just want to get to the game. Is Ian still here?
I mean,
He may have fallen asleep before we got to the cool part of
Kobe
the story.
Kobe got an hour and a half to himself. I
Look,
think it's fair.
anyone could have chimed in. Anyone.
I tried so many times and you talked over me.
If I talked over you, I genuinely didn't hear you. I tried to include any and everyone.
Oh, it was more Kobe. I'm using you as Kobe.
Hey, I was trying to get you to chime in on, this whole banner situation. Maybe you knew stuff about this Bodust Derek. Do you all keep talking about? I was hoping Tyrell would tell us a nice little story.
Yeah, Tyrell didn't want to play historian today.
I don't even know that what I was asking constitutes a historian based on the level that you of the story that you shared with us. It was very brief, and that was more than enough for the
I have an explanation, but I figured I'd say it after.
I figured there was, and that's why I didn't prod anything, is I figured you guys were opting for survival in a peaceful conclusion. So it's
Complete misunderstanding, but
I was completely excited to have the skeleton head, which I was given that correctly, because I wrote it down. Did anyone else get the skeleton head, or am I claiming it? Stoney, do you want...
For sure, yours. That and the piece of paper, the IOU. You have an IOU, so.
I wrote the IOU.
wait,
down.
your what skeleton head are you saying you have?
The one that the witch threw. You just said the witch taught
yeah.
you.
Perfect. Okay, just making sure.
Am I
I don't
supposed
know
to?
where Ian's at, so let's just skip him.
Okay. We can just throw him back in if he comes back. Stony, that means you are up.
Okay, I do believe the idea was to push the cauldron into the water.
I believe you are correct.
Just because it sounds cool. All right, let's do that.
Get to the other side.
All right, you guys give me a strength roll. Are you just trying to tip it over? Or are you trying to carry it and then tip it over?
I was gonna carry it and move it to where they were jumping in at.
Sure.
Over that main part of the water.
Pretty far.
Okay, I hope you're ready to do some heavy lifting here.
Yeah, cumulative.
Oh. I am. I just rolled a really high.
Okay, good, because
Plus I've bonused out on fucking strength, so.
I'm gonna use my inspiration here as well. And can I use that bless, or would that not work here?
With your inspiration point, you won't need it.
Okay, good, because I rolled a 3.
Okay. Your inspiration point will save you here. I don't know what Stony got, but obviously it was gonna be probably enough. Your inspiration point though, that's pretty much an instant success. That's like a
Perfect.
back pocket nat 20 kind of thing.
Taking that.
Sure. So you guys move the cauldron over to the edge, right, kind of where you were wanting, and you tip it over. The blue fire.
No idea if this fire's just gonna go out.
The blue fire kind of spills, and immediately in like a big whoop, ignites across the immediate cove.
Awesome.
Tug, I'm gonna need you.
Oh no.
So I was saying, I was like, I'm pretty sure Tug's in the water. Like,
Oh no. I didn't think it's gonna spread to him. I thought we would like an oil spill out here.
Tug, it's a pretty escapable blaze, but go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Josh.
What'd you get, Josh?
15. I didn't realize I was on mute.
No worries. All right, you're only gonna take half damage here.
Oh, because I have the one. I knew there was something I was looking for. Saving throws. 16 if it makes a difference.
It's still gonna just be half, but
Okay.
9. I need you to take 9 burn
Good.
damage. So yes, as the blue flame sort of like quickly spreads across the cove in here, the entire surface of the cove is lit aflame with this blue flame. Tug, the initial sort of woomph of it got you, but your extra armor class is going to be enough to sort of sustain you in it. It's not somewhere you want to stay. You're kind of, obviously in a bad spot, but
How did you not see that coming with your extra eye?
Nick sort of turns to you guys and says, so how are we gonna leave now? That's okay. I'll worry
We'll
about
find our
that
way
once
out of
it's my turn. Soul, it is your turn.
Oh gosh. I truly don't know what to do.
So you just saw the entire sort of alcove back here illuminate and ignite in that blue fire. It's like you don't know if it's the fumes off the corpses or like the water is just somehow flammable or if it's the magical properties of the blue flame. But this thing has sort of caught and is slowly spreading throughout the entire cave. Like all of the water, almost like gasoline or something. It's not like igniting with the vaporized stuff in the air, but the liquid itself it's like burning off the top.
So are the coffins still like viable to use?
They are quickly deteriorating with the flames, but they are currently buoyant.
All right.
You know you have an exit to what you can only assume is the outside world right around the corner. But you also know you can only see Tug in the water, kind of wreathed by flame. You don't know the fate of the other people around the corner at the moment. You know, you could maybe also exit back out the way you came in, but that would require you to sort of traverse across this cave of fire.
That is true. I'm in a pickle. Because I want to help my friends. I don't know. How far are the ladies?
They're in the water. You don't know where they're at. They jumped in the water when things were getting a little crazy, and they have yet to surface.
All right. Does Tug appear to be safe in the water?
No, he's kind of like trying to put out the fire on his person at the moment.
All right.
You know, just from the look, he's taken some damage.
Okay, hold on. I have a plan. Just might work. No, I don't have a plan. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You might, if they come out and attack, you might be ready from that side. Or you can get yourself in a safe spot so that way you can avoid like magic or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna maneuver myself kind of more in the middle of the rock, like this big chunk rock a little lower.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put myself right there so that way whenever
Like right here?
Stony and Detective Easter, yeah, kind of make their way. I can kind of potentially block so they can make their way back over.
Sure. Do you want to prepare defense or anything?
I mean, I'm good.
Okay. That's going to bring us to Nick. So Nick sort of shouts over and says, "Hey, so now that we lit the cave on fire, how do you propose we leave?"
With the blood of an anatag around our swords.
Okay, that's great and all. It sounds very heroic, but I'm looking to more like not die kind of thing. Yeah, I'm gonna make a break for it. It doesn't seem like it's all that bad. And he sort of quickly approaches, and like the sort of fine linen on his pants catch fire, and he like quickly brushes it out, and he says, can one of you guys fly? You guys can fly? I thought I heard somebody could fly, right? Somebody can fly.
I can play.
He says, "Oh, who said that?"
It is I, Lady Soul.
Soul, my best friend in the world. Would you mind flying around, pick me up, just give me a little lift over to wherever you're at? You're not in fire, right? You're totally safe.
I would love to, but I need a feather.
Yeah, that's problematic. I don't know.
So unless the alchemists over at that work table have a
All
feather.
anatags have feathers. We must kill them and acquire it.
Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna look around here for a feather. I'll get back to you, Soul. So he's gonna run around and look for a feather. So while he does that, Tyrell, you are up, my dude.
Bye.
He blocks the exit so only he can leave.
Stone's in the way. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. New warriors live through me.
I'm doing a safety check. Do I have my rope near with me?
You do.
Okay. Then I can stop hyperventilating. I'm feeling rambunctious. I'm ready to go in. I know I'm kind of far away because I started to retreat. I not retreat, but leave.
Tactical retreat. Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily. I don't know. Maybe they forgot I was even going to be here, so maybe I can try to do some sneakiness. But looking at my visuals here, I don't know how sneaky I could possibly be.
Sneaking's kind of out of the question at the moment. Like, you guys are kind of in combat, right? Like,
yeah.
I will say when you look around, there are stalactites hanging from the ceiling. Think
that was my next question.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
there's one that looks sturdy enough that I could maybe attempt a rope attachment.
Yes.
Do some George of the Jungle shit.
In fact, yes, there's let's see. Oh, look, right here.
I hope you have the stalagmite to do the right thing.
Yeah.
This night has just been perfect. This is that was a great one, Ian.
Oh.
Hey-o.
Hey. Is this correct, Ian?
Oh.
No, stalagmites are on the ground, but he was saying
But still,
tight
it was
might.
The pun was great.
The pun was excellent.
Oh,
Top
I
notch.
completely missed the pun. Now I feel dumb.
All right, but there it is. It magically appeared right in front.
Well, yeah, it wasn't even in anyone's like conscious thought because they didn't think about it. But I'm always thinking.
And
like,
Deanna Tyrell, I can't wait to see it.
That's just the inner machinations of your mind. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Machination.
Well, I did say we killed the monster thing by stalactites. I laid the groundwork.
Technically, you laid the ceiling work.
So what are you doing with this rope? I feel like I can connect the dots here, but
Oh, well, I first want to make sure it attaches.
you send it out. It's well within range. There's enough sort of like grooves on it that it does in fact sort of firmly wrap around. You get a good tug on it, and it's ready to go.
Good time. Okay. I guess I'm gonna swing for it. Swing for the fences.
You
here,
gonna
see how
get like
far-
a running start, or you just gonna swing from where
Oh,
you're
yeah,
at?
yeah.
Okay,
As
all right.
much slag as I can get back towards the wall. I gotta get a running start.
Sure
Okay.
thing.
What are
You,
you
you,
swinging for?
you, you, like around the corner, I think is what he's aiming for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you,
aim for the
Knock into
bushes.
me.
He's aiming for the bushes, man. That's all good.
so you back up to the wall, and your rope, because it's magic, sort of stays floating in the air, ready for you to grab. You sprint forward, jump, and grab the rope. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
Why have I done this?
He's gonna do a gainer right to the firewater.
Okay. I'll let you see what.
It's him and 3 anisags underneath the firewater. I love it.
Jumps into Tug's arms in the water.
They're wide open, baby.
Falls on Tug and they both fall in the water.
Okay.
I'd see it
Is it
coming.
gonna be a dexterity or a strength acrobatics?
Acrobatics is dexterity.
Okay, then that's 18 total.
All right. You swing the hell out of that rope. You friggin' whip around that corner. You execute it exactly as intended. You sort of land up there, and Nick turns around and says, "Screw that feather, I'm coming with you."
And that's when Nick died.
Nothing like the scorn of a woman.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else you want to do? You all good?
I think I want to make sure I got my rope back with me. I don't want.
It is still in your hands. It never left your
I was
hands.
gonna say, he hides the rope.
What rope?
Well, I guess if I can prepare a defense, I mean, all I really got's my dagger, but I have no idea what's about to happen. So.
Sure. No worries. Okay.
What about your hand crossbow?
Yeah.
That somebody who was very sentimental to you gave that to you.
I don't know if that's gonna help me with defense.
So, it is Annis Hag number 2's turn. Reveal.
Reveal.
So, out of the lid of this coffin, you see what pops up out of the flame as the second sister.
She looks like the hot one though.
You've only seen her backside, Cameron. How do you know?
He's the
I
one
was
that
done
gets
saying.
away.
That's all I need to
That's all,
see.
that's all you need to see.
I've seen enough.
Look at that cake right there.
Like, I hate to break this to you, but
Is it a
upon
man cake?
upon her revealing herself out of the coffin, you gaze upon her visage, and you see what appears to be the moving, actively melting and festering flesh of some sort of horrific appearance. I need both of you and Detective Easter, to perform a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
You're
Nat
smart
20.
enough
Let's
to just
fucking
think
go.
with your brain.
I had my Nat 20 there.
Wisdom. Only a 15.
All right. You both manage to keep your wits about you, and you do not become frightened of the hag. She sort of like scowls in some sort of disappointment and goes back down into the coffin. And
Did she take any fire damage?
You don't know that.
Okay.
It
God
appeared
damn, she's
as
ugly.
it appeared as if her flesh was melting, but you don't know if that was because of her hideous appearance or if because she was in fact burning.
Actually, both of those burns.
She's going to move to an undisclosed location. And
Does that mean we're never gonna be surprised by her ugly appearance since we beat the first check?
you don't know that.
Okay.
And it is going to be Annis Hag number 1's turn. Annis Hag number 1 is going to reveal herself. Right next to Tug and Sailor Sun.
No, they're not.
Tug, you're kind of preoccupied being on fire to really notice anything around you. Soul, however, it is a bit of a trance to see a coffin lid open up and have a figure pop out of a lake of fire. So your attention is drawn to that. I need you to also make a DC saving wisdom throw.
Guess I'm just following camera tonight. 15.
All right. You also succeed. So this hag's face appears to be alive almost, and upon further inspection through the flames, you can see what appears to be insects moving across her face. But you've seen these insects before, and you actually kind of find them, they're not cute, but they're not disturbing. Like, it doesn't really bug you. So she also kind of makes a disappointing face and returns
like
down.
the Batman.
Yeah. Kind of like Scarecrow, yeah. That's a good one with the maggots. But she also disappears into the water, into a undisclosed location.
And dies.
Annis Hag 3 is going to appear.
This one's a real boss bitch.
And this one sort of like climbs out of the water. You can see parts of her tattered robes. She barely appeared to have any clothing on in the first place, but she just appears to be a naked woman crawling on all fours with these tattered clothing that are sort of illuminated with this blue fire, approaching both Detective Easter and Stony. You guys need to make another saving throw for me. Wisdom.
You said the third
Hopefully
one?
you don't have a little Stony going
This is
on.
this is the third one, yes. The third sister, that is.
Oh, no. It was a 9.
Detective Easter.
I used my inspiration, or not my inspiration, my bless. I used my blessing on this saving throw, and it was a total of an unnatural 20 again.
Okay.
Didn't we have to use it, though, before Tug's next turn?
Before his next turn. He hasn't had his next turn yet.
He is not.
Because I haven't had my turn. I started it all.
Detective Easter, you're all right. There's nothing that phases you, but Stony, you...
Can I use mine or no?
Use yours. You can use it on a saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1d4.
10.
Josh, you rolled it 4, Cameron, is what you're saying?
No, I'm just... No, I just...
You get to 1d4. I got a 10.
he only rolls a 1, so he gets 10 instead of he needs a high number.
What did you roll, Cameron?
I rolled a 9.
No, you can't.
It's a 1d4.
I initially rolled a 9. Am I rolling for... Because my 9 didn't beat it, so now I'm rolling for...
A D4.
If you're...
My D4 was 3.
Okay, so add that to your 9.
Okay, well, yeah. So,
yeah.
It's a 12.
Yeah, so 16.
What did you roll?
It's a 12 with the 3.
Okay. You're fine. You're both fine. You feel like you've seen this in a creepy movie somewhere, but it's not, it's not something that's freaking you out at this particular moment. So you're fine. This hag does not relent, though. It does not retreat. It is going to twist its head around and screw up its face. I need you guys to make another check.
Good grief. A little better. 14.
I got a
wisdom
7.
my lowest addition.
Okay, Stony, you are fine again. But Detective Easter, something about her head twisting around kind of unnerves you. So the next 2 turns, you are going to be frightened of this sea hag. So you can't make any moves.
Hashtag doubt. Monk abilities, let's go.
So you can continue to make those checks as the turns continue, but you can't make any moves against it. Frightened for 1 minute. Yeah. Repeat it. Yep. And if you succeed, after this one, then you're solid.
And so once per turn, I get a free chance to see if I break that, right?
Correct. Yep. So you're kind
awesome.
You're kind of frozen in fear at the moment. That brings us back to the top, Detective Easter. Your go.
Okay.
How convenient.
What roll do I do to try to break that?
Same roll you've been making.
Free chance. Okay. Well, I would get a 9. So that won't break, right?
It does not beat it.
So I'm going to use my stillness of mind to use 1 action to end an effect on yourself, charmed or frightened.
Nice.
So that is one of my actions.
When you succeed that check, you cannot be frightened by this particular hag for 24 hours. So you are no longer, you have overcome your fear. There's no concern in your mind that this hag, you know what it has to offer. So.
Okay, I'm going to move my echo in front of it.
You as well, Stony.
Oh, I'm glad you told me. I just figured you wouldn't tell me.
No, you could feel it.
And we are hacking and slashing.
All right.
This hack looks like Dragon Ball Z. Not to bring it back to Dragon Ball Z. This one looks like a character from Dragon Ball Z.
I'm not going to do much on this attack. I think I'm going to miss. Rolled an 11.
You do, in fact, miss. It kind of does these weird contortions to sort of dodge your daggers. But you miss.
Okay. Are we still counting our movements if we do not move as one of our actions that we get to use, or are we done with that?
Like I said, we'll go throughout this entire island with the homebrew thing that we've done. But once we continue to Nicanthes, we'll go to movement and attacks as counting as 1 per turn.
Separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, cool. Well, then that was that action. I'm going to try to attack again.
Okay.
This time I got a 17.
That hits.
Okay. And I get to roll 10 damage.
Okay.
I'm going to attack again.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Nice, that breaks.
10 on the first roll. And 9 on the second roll. And this is with a silver sword, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not. And then I'm going to use one of my key points to try to make that attempt to make that strike a stunning strike. And so with the stunning strike, it's a Constitution saving throw. And the save is a 15. So if you feel that, you are stunned until
Constitution, you say?
the end of until the end of my next turn.
Well, in the typical fashion, I rolled like garbage, so.
Boom, stunned. All right, that ends my turn, and I spent one of my key points. I need to write that down.
Okay, so yeah, your echo hacks and slashes as it kind of contorts and twists. This time you manage to read the movement a little bit better. You make cuts across her forearms and shoulders as she sort of tries to get away. You hack a little bit more at her legs. A lot of these are pretty gnarly wounds. You could see sort of the blood on your blade, and in the dark, you know you're making good hits here. Tug. Beating back the fire, you are up.
So explain to me how the Constitution works. Do I only concentrate on it for that turn? Because like Shield of Faith.
Are you talking about
lasts up-
concentration or are you talking about constitution?
I was thinking the Constitution of the United States.
I was waiting.
But you
for it to
see,
go.
when the people work with each other,
So constitution is a check that you're making.
No, I'm talking about concentration.
Okay. Concentration, like your shield thing, it just means that in order to cast a different spell, you'd have to break concentration on that spell to cast a different one. So if you cast a different spell, that's totally fine, but you won't be able to maintain that one that you were casting, right?
So I only get the +2 bonus to my armor class if I never make another spell. So I'm
Yeah,
just sitting here concentrating my +2 to armor class.
at the moment, yes.
Well, then that's a worthless spell.
Not really. I mean, wizards are pretty squishy. I mean, and they
Not if
usually
you're sitting back and like you had a bow, or because you could shoot a bow and still do that, right?
you usually attack from range, so it's like a good defensive measure. It's more of a
Okay.
preparation thing, or like a
You got more weapons than anybody. Just throw some shit in there. See what happens.
Okay. Well, that makes. I see what you're saying now. So, okay. Well, then I'm gonna cast, chill touch onto the. Am I on fire? Am I still in fire?
you are still in the fire actively. Like
Okay.
if
So do I
you remain here, you will take damage.
So I need to move up.
Yeah, you need to make a decision either to move through the fire over towards Soul or move up back onto the ledge behind you.
Can I get to where Soul is in one movement, or is that gonna take both of my movements?
You'd have to jump to a coffin and then onto the ledge, but yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, I guess I'll go to Soul.
All right. Just give me an athletics check for both little jumps here.
Is athletics dexterity?
Athletics is strength, I believe. Yes.
Okay. Well, I got a 9 and a 5. So
A 9 and a 5. For your athletics check.
yeah, because my strength is 0.
You unfortunately fall into the water, and the initial shock of you being in the flame, you think you're going to be in trouble maybe, but you go beneath the surface of the water, and while the water does seem a little like rancid, you are protected from the fire. So you're just down sort of shallow. It's almost like a coral reef, but instead of coral, it's bones. So it's kind of hard to maneuver around. And there is some play with the bones. Like you can kind of brush them around, but not a comfortable situation. You got fire above you, sort of confined space below. So you're not necessarily in trouble here, but it's not a great place to be.
I have the ability to teleport like 30 feet. I just now remembered that.
To a place you
What-
can probably see, right?
Yeah, I mean, I should have done it instead of trying to jump, but I don't remember what I have that gives me that ability.
Probably just a spell.
Well, then can I just try to get back up on the rocks? Like, even if I get damage, I just want to get over to where Sailor Sun is.
You can swim under the water. You know roughly where you fell in the water. You can just try and swim to the shore.
Yeah, that's all I want to do.
Okay.
Ebony.
Give me a survival check Survival is just a wisdom. Make sure you are headed in the right direction, kind of thing.
Nat 20
All
plus
right.
wisdom. So
You swim straight forward, and you feel the rocky surface on your hands, and you sort of throw your head above the water in a fast motion to try and kick back as much of the fire as possible, and you scramble up onto the rocks in front of Soul.
Hey, hey, hey.
okay. I so man, I got frog in my throat.
You get all that water in your throat.
Yeah. Hex is a bonus action. So does that mean I get to use it as a bonus action?
Sure.
Okay, well then, am I within 90 feet of the other side of this building, or where's 90 foot put us?
90 feet. I mean, talking 90 gnomes. We're talking 90 feet. Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. You're 30 gnomes from the other side of the cave wall.
Okay, well then I'm gonna cast Hex on the witch.
You can't see any of the
I
hags.
can't see across there because of the fire.
They're under the fire currently.
I
What
thought
about that one that's up?
I thought about the one that Kobe was attacking.
Oh, this one over here? Yeah, you can hex that one. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the other two. My bad.
Place a curse on a creature that I can see within range until the spell ends. You deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever you hit it with an attack. You choose one ability when you cast the spell. The target has a disadvantage on the ability check when chosen ability. I don't understand what that does then. So I thought it did 1/6 necrotic damage, but it doesn't.
It essentially is sort of weakening. It's a debuff, right? So like when they take damage next, they're gonna take extra damage in the form of necrotic damage.
Yeah, but I have to be the one to cause the damage.
Yeah, but I mean,
And it's a concentration, so I'm not going to sit there and concentrate on it. So I guess just end my turn.
I'll double check on all the concentration stuff, but I from what I understand is, I mean, so there's like concentration on something for the duration until it's cast, and then there's concentration on something to maintain an effect. I would say maintaining a hex on someone is probably a concentration, but like casting
And that just means you can't do another spell. You can't be doing a second spell. You could still attack it, but you couldn't be doing a second spell.
exactly.
Or be knocked prone or unconscious or
Well,
something. Then you would lose it.
The thing that confuses me is that it says casting time. It only takes me one bonus action to cast the spell, but then it has duration for up to 1 hour with concentration.
Right.
So I understand both sides of it. Like if I wanted to concentrate on this hex for an hour while I was shooting someone with a bow, that makes sense.
Think of it like Doctor Strange, right? Like he puts his hands up and does his hand motions, and the little sigils show up or whatever, but he has to maintain concentration on his target and what he's doing if he wants that to have a continuous effect. The moment he stops doing that or takes his attention away from it to do another spell, then he breaks that spell he was working on currently. He can't be doing both unless it's something that he can sort of fire and forget, like a magic missile, or right? Like
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. I get it. I didn't realize that. I mean, like if I wanted, I mean, it just kind of you can't cast any spells. You're just sitting back. For the way that my character plays, pretty much some of these are worthless. But it's fine. We'll figure it out.
I said, I'll double check. I could be wrong. It's been a minute, but that's how I've always thought of
You know,
concentration.
it makes sense.
I'm not arguing it. It makes sense.
That brings us to Soul.
So I'm gonna turn and ask Tug, would you like to go to the high ground with me?
What do you mean the high ground? I think we
Like,
are the.
like with Detective Easter and them
No.
up there.
No, that's backtracking, bro.
Well, then I am going to just stay prepared. Because the only way I can get up there is if I use Thunderstep to teleport, but then it will cause Tug to get hurt unless he goes with me. So we chilling here. We're just gonna stay on guard.
Yep. Prepare to close your eyes.
I'm looking at the wall, so with all three eyes.
Makes it all that much easier to stab you in the back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wait,
Sailor Sun's got me.
They're like a bunch of dogs looking when they poop.
Lock eyes.
hold on. I'm gonna try something. I think.
Sure.
Never mind. I was gonna cast like minor illusion to create a mirror, so that way if any hag comes up, they just stare at themselves.
You could do that.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
All right. So where are you kind of positioning yourself, and where are you positioning the mirror?
I'm gonna position myself right at. Well, I'm actually just gonna stay facing tugboat,
Okay.
but I'm gonna hold the mirror facing the lake
So
pond thing.
Tug is between you and the water, and you're holding the mirror to Tug's face.
Right.
Okay.
Hold the mirror around, Tug.
Yeah. So it actually can look at the water.
So you're offering
What?
the mirror for Tug to see into it behind him.
No,
Yes.
you need
No.
to put the mirror behind me. Not in
Right.
front.
Yes. So I need to be next to Tug.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Tug was kind of sweating bullets there for half a second.
I barely got my own spells figured out. Don't have me, you don't need me telling you.
It's like the image right to Tug's face.
Good play. Good play. All right. Stony, you're up. You just
Yeah, I'm
lit the
Right
water.
over.
You're running over.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
throw it all out. We're sprinting right over there.
All right. You close the gap. You join Detective Easter's echo.
And I'm just full on. Let's get it.
You found his echolocation.
All right. So
Gonna beat
I'm
this
just
bitch up.
roll for a hit, and then all the fun stuff's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna use the trident and just big O stabby stab, and I got a
Stab. I like that new move.
a 18 modifiers.
Okay, that hits. Wouldn't it be stab, stab, stab? Because there's like 3 points.
What's one
The
stab? I'm
pun
not
synonym.
stabbing
The pun
I'm not
synonym
stabbing
is just
individually.
crazy.
Yep. So I'm gonna use booming blade.
Okay.
Along with a smite for a total of 5d8s.
Oh my god. That's a lot more damage than I can do.
Plus another d8 plus 2, so 6 d8s plus 2.
Just put it down for 68 damage. No need to roll, just 68.
Not great at rolls, that many dice to roll, but a 27.
Booming blade.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So booming blade, if that creature moves 5 feet, then they take another 2d8 thunder damage.
Okay.
So I'm down to 2 more smites based on our last combat, because I used 2, I think.
And this is it only takes the damage if it moves?
So it takes the initial damage, and then if it moves again, it takes another 2d8.
Gotcha. So the initial damage that it did is what?
Oh, initial damage, everything combined was 27.
Damn. Where did you get that much damage?
So Booming Blade is a cantrip, so I can use it anytime I land a hit with a melee weapon, and then my smite, based on my current level, is 3d8. And I get 6 of those based on how many spells I have as a paladin, and I had already used 2.
Okay, so you're expending some stuff here. All right. Describe to me how you kill this hag.
Ooh. Just a big old... So I stab right in the chest, bit of a lift up in the air, and just toss it right into the water.
Blah! All right. Big splash, a big fiery bloosh as it goes into the water, and you see it sort of, its corpse float on top as its back begins to burn in the blue flame.
Nice.
Thanks for stunning it. I didn't know what to do, and then he stunned it. I'm like, oh, fair game. Let's go.
All right. Nick's turn.
So how many movements did it take to get over there?
1 movement.
Okay, so my third movement, or
Okay.
my third action, I'm just going to prepare.
Prepare defense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Over to Nick's turn. So Nick sort of, from across the way, shouts over and says, "Nice shot!"
Thanks.
He sort of looks at the rope in your hands, Tyrell, and says, "Can I give it a swing?"
Maybe one day you'll
So I can't.
not today.
Not
No.
So-
okay.
No.
So you're not here to rescue me, then? Am I gathering? Is that correct?
What do you mean rescue? Are you a damsel in distress? We're on this together. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can see behind you, but the whole lake's on fire. I'm not looking to run through the flames, so I thought you swung over here really heroically, and were gonna like toss me the rope so we could escape. Right? I thought that was the plan. Escape.
Wait, so Tyrell, your idea to come over here was to help fight?
I didn't know I was out of the realm of fire. I did not realize. I thought I was just as screwed as everybody else.
No. So you swung from a safe place to another safe
Big
place.
swung.
I had no idea.
Saving yourself? What a dick!
I came to fight.
He came to fight. He came to help you guys fight.
I thought all of this was on fire.
Just the water.
Well, there's water all the way back to where I was standing too, though.
Yeah, but not up
That was
here.
the safe place.
Like
That's
this
a
is
way
safe.
out where you were.
Not safe. It's just the top of the water that's on fire.
Would have already been gone. No, all right, fine.
So Nick says, "All right, okay, cool, that's fine. I'll stick here and help now that we got more numbers." And we just watched Stoney and Detective Easter hand it to that hag. So yeah. I'll. And he kind of runs over and establishes like a defense right at the waterfront. Tyrell, that's gonna lead to your turn.
Nick's gonna shoot at Taro.
Let's get out of here. Come over here, and I'll swing you around the corner.
Nick sort of Nick sort of scratches his head and is kind of stuck in contemplation.
He left before I could say anything.
Nick sort of begins to walk over to where you're at, but it's not his turn. So
His adrenaline amped up for like nothing.
Tyrell, if you got any other moves or things you want to do, you're welcome to do them. Your magic rope can hold itself there because it is a magic rope, ready for people to use if you want to go and continue your attack or assistance, or if you trust other people to use the magic rope.
I guess people can use it. I don't like it, but out of necessity. How far can I get over close to the cauldron? Is that like one move?
Yeah. easily.
Okay.
So there's no more hags up here currently. Water's still on fire. But yes, you can prepare a defense, or you can look around. You can collect something. It's totally up to you. There's stuff to do up here. If you
I mean, if we're already pissed them off, if there's something that, like real quick I can maybe see a value, I might.
roll a d20 perception. You're an artificer. You're always looking for stuff.
That'd be a 9.
Go for that giant dice over there.
Yes. You do see a rather interesting 20-sided die on the table. It's kind of like softball sized, we'll say. But most of the other things seem to be various bottles with mysterious liquids in them. So you can grab any of those things that you see. The bottles all have corks in them. None of them are labeled, but they're, multitude of colors.
Okay. Like, is there a set of 3 different colors I could grab? Or am I
There's a yellow, there's a blue, and a red.
Can I get one of each?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I want.
Okay.
Yellow.
Yellow, blue, and a red.
Alright.
Write down mysterious red, yellow, and blue.
And just randomly drink them when you're in a battle somewhere.
I mean, you can assume kind of what they're involved with based on what someone told you previously.
They bring you back to life. So they make you doubly alive when you drink it while alive.
And the initiative is dropped.
Oh.
Ooh. That's probably it. We're probably at a good spot to just about wrap up. I think it's almost 10.
It is almost 10 o'clock, but there is like it's an uneasy ease, but there was an extra stillness after Stony sort of uppercutted one of the sea hags into the water. You get the sense that they split.
Did we see any dissipation of water? Because I remember, like, the old Anisag had, like, that, or at least at that place, if somebody had been there, perhaps these 3 sisters, to go and clean up the house, there's, like, a force that spread out. So do we see, like, any water dissipate, or do the flames kind of
if there
obscure
is
that?
one, the flames and the bones are obscuring it.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, you're not wrong to look for that. But as of right now, there's nothing perceivable.
I'll save looking into shit until next time.
Okay.
Well, that was a heck of a fight, Stony. Thank you for standing in here with me and battling this hag. Now you know what it's like.
Friends.
Absolutely. As soon as I heard, oppress, I was just itching.
And the way I hear it, Tyrell and Madame Blib du Pull-Up have the most experience fighting a hag. I now have twice the experience that I had before.
Okay, hey, what? The last thing I heard was Koei say this is probably a good stopping point, and then it all went mute.
Oh, I was just saying, like, to do stuff. I was just saying, good job on the fight, and then I said that you and Tyrell have the most experience fighting these types of hags, and I've now doubled my experience in fighting hags.
Okay, so nothing's
That was
happened.
about it. Nothing
Yeah, no,
important
just-
has happened.
Pointless. Like,
Banter. Just banter.
Never pointless.
I mean, like self-improving words to yourself.
Yeah, that was about it. Morale for the team.
Morale to
Yeah,
yourself.
you did.
Go ahead and give yourselves 450 experience points for the one dead sea hag. Make some notes based on what you learned. You did obtain some knowledge. Maybe not all of it. Maybe conflict could have been avoided, but the world is seeming to be more connected. Everywhere you've gone, there's been coven of witches, it appears, in the deepest, darkest corners of each location. So you still don't know their full intent. It does not maybe appear. It's hard to trust them, but they did try and avoid conflict, whether out of their own self-preservation or maybe out of some higher respect for life. Who knows?
Yeah, well, they ain't gonna trust us any if every single time we find them, we fucking kill it. So,
Well, good. They'd be fucking dead then. They're monsters. There be monsters out there.
you're
did we get
a
experience for the rest
monster
of-
by all definitions. So you know,
Literally, you're the only monster by all definitions.
You have 3 eyes, bro.
I'm literally a normal character in this world. You are.
By the way, Blib, your third eye does recede back into your forehead.
yeah, I have 2 eyes.
Did
So-
it make like a noise? When it did?
Oh, gross.
Exactly that kind of noise, yes.
Christian, are we done with the experience for the rest of the tower? Because we have not received that. I was just wondering.
It's up to you guys if you're done with the tower or not.
No, we're not.
I mean,
done. We gotta go find the bones. We have the candle. We know what the point of the tower was. We're not even close. We have to go all back through this thing and find the skeleton.
No, we don't, because it's underneath us.
Yep, just
You know
pick
what?
up any random skeleton. That's fine.
Yeah.
You were counting them earlier. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't
I
you check that in your inventory?
didn't hear what you said, Ian.
So didn't you check the count in your inventory?
Yeah, I mean, we're at 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003.
You've been concentrating on counting this whole time? You couldn't have cast any of those spells.
They were all bonus actions.
his third eye.
It was your
Third eye
third eye.
Yes.
Your third eye was preoccupied with that.
Well, then I guess we'll wait for the XP on the rest of the tower. But that was a good session. It was. I was excited.
Was it,
I
Kobe?
mean, it felt
Was
so
it,
fucking
Kobe?
difficult.
Was it a good session? Do you feel like you had a good session?
I do, because we figured out who those people were. I thought we were just gonna get out of here and not learn a fucking thing.
I also was concerned about that for a minute.
I was like, what do we have to talk about to figure out anything? Because I'm like, there's nothing to persuade them. I don't want to attack them if they're just threatening nuclear bombs with their fucking horrible faces at us.
I figured there was something that we were missing, and that's why I just went ahead and told you the story. Like, these characters weren't just here for no reason.
It would have been funny if he would have just left, and it would have been like, oh,
Well,
crap,
the
could
moment
do
we got
these
close to the
characters.
story, you're like, well, let's not talk about this anymore. I don't care about it. Like, well, it's just a banner. Who cares? Let's get out of here.
I asked you guys the same question. Well, I would have to go back and count it.
Like
I
20
don't know
times.
how many times.
Like, why are you here?
And I understand, like, that I enjoy the dialogue back and forth, and like, she obviously had her motivations and was hoping to learn things from you guys, so she stuck with it. But eventually there would have been an end to her patience, but also, yeah, she was trying to avoid conflict. And
So all I'd say is clearly I did not understand the question, and everyone was just so reliant on me having the answer that I was like, okay, well.
I was gonna say,
Bye.
Tyrell is not the only person that has been present through this entire tower with all this information that has been shared.
I totally misunderstood and thought you were asking for like a technical, scientific. I kept looking through all the notes in the journal and through. I just didn't understand that you. Just
Oh, no, I just wanted you to give a
No,
general
no,
recap of
she-
what you
I
knew.
had-
I,
No,
I,
I
I
never
may
understood-
have misled you
I
because
never understood that.
she is all must no fuss kind of thing, right? Like she wants the facts, she wants them straight. Like she was interested in anything that could help her. Like you started, and that's my bad. I discouraged you, but I was trying to be in character. Like you were telling like a love story or whatever, and sort of like giving maybe more detail than she wanted, which was, you know, she was after like the bullet points, like I was saying. Like that's when Tug came in and was like this, and this, and then she's like, thank you, yes, okay, here's how you fix it, boom, like go.
I mean, there has been a trend of where Tug has to come in and take care of things. So it's not a surprise
Like the blacksmith.
that I had to come in, and so
Right. Yeah, okay.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that. That's hilarious.
But no, anybody can jump in at any time. I mean, I know there's a lot of us, and I know we're all speaking, and it's hard to go over one another. But you guys communicating amongst each other is like the best thing you can do. As long as
I literally thought we were not going to learn anything from these witches other than okay, you're down here and you're fucking secretive and we don't want to look at you.
okay.
And I was like, that's all we're going to get.
I was up at 5 o'clock, so I'm dead. I'm going to bed.
no
Y'all have a good
worries.
night.
Everybody say bye to the stream.